10 seconds. Wait,
10 seconds till what?
We're on live.
Till now? Are we on?
We're on now.
Are we on now? How about now? Is anybody watching? Why would anybody watch this? Because there's cool ass knives to show the people.
Well, welcome.
What are we doing? What's going on? This is Thursday.
What are we doing today?
This is the garage sale roundup. We're going to tell you what's left, what's happening. We're going to pipe in some of our friends from our different shops. Mm-hmm. We're going to do little chit chats, you know, live on location. Because there's lots of great stuff left at all the stores. Garage sale is often a time when there is just so many knives, and we spread them around the stores and the internet.
So, what's the garage sale? What are we doing? What's the garage sale?
What we're doing and what a garage sale is can be quite different things. A garage sale is a wonderful event where you get to, unload your old Tupperware, right? But this is very similar, except we're not in a garage. Well, we are kind of. There's a garage door right there. Yeah. You could park in here if you wanted. No, well, okay. So throughout the year, and a couple times a year, we go on business trips to Japan, and then throughout the year, we buy random stuff that is not our normal inventory, things we don't stock particularly, and when it comes to this time of year, which is just about Remembrance Day, and then in the spring we'll do it again right around what we call May Long Weekend here in Canada. We just blow out a whole bunch of knives. We have unique things, we have random things, we've got one of a kind, we've got scratch and dent, we have left-handed single-beveled gyutos, kind of some weird stuff, some wonderful stuff, some inexpensive stuff.
Yeah, like launch as well. Like we
got some product launch.
Launch a little bit. You know, like to introduce some new blacksmith
knives.
Yeah,
and hose.
And
axes.
Axes. Anyways, so this is our kind of third and the last live stream that we're doing. This is our follow up. Show you something that we still have things that we have lots of, or something like, oh my God, you're still here type knives, as well as some late arrivals. We just got really cool, set of.
Saw that. Yeah, some really cool looking steak knives.
Yeah. So something like that we're gonna show off today. We'll run probably until like 3:30, 4 o'clock, maybe. So if you have any questions, just type that in the comment, and we'll get back to you as soon as. Well,
oh yeah, you can communicate with us.
Yeah, it's alive.
We will answer your questions. I hope to hear that some of you have even received the knives that you had ordered on Monday. I know the team managed to turn out several hundred orders. Actually, the team here in the warehouse set their all-time record of how many packages they shipped in one day. So super jazzed for them. It's kind of an accomplishment. We like this. It's a great big busy day for us. So we have a lot of fun with it. And
I was just gonna say, somebody posted on Instagram they got their knife on Tuesday.
No way. That's incredible.
Which, like, normally, because we have to put the first round on a pallet, and normally Canada Post has to open it and scan it, and doesn't even get going until Tuesday. But yeah, somebody got their knife on Tuesday.
Oh, it's crazy.
So good.
Yeah, but a lot of people posting and tagging us on Instagram. So thank you everybody that's done that. And if you, one person even made a little unboxing video on YouTube.
That was
Jessica,
so
that was
wholesome.
Great. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I posted to our YouTube community page if you want to go watch her little video. It was great.
Well, and we had a great email that went around with that video yesterday, and like a lot of our staff were so happy to see that, because you should watch this video. It's so good. But it's just a lady who spent a lot of time trying to figure out what their first knife was going to be, and it was a bit of an unboxing, and it's just so gratifying for us to know that what we do actually is meaningful to people, because it's weird. I don't know if you know this, but we try. We try really hard to do a good job. So it's nice when people appreciate it. So thank you.
Yeah. And thanks everybody that's shopped the sale already. Like, this stream is partially for people who maybe need a bit of help shopping. But to those of you that have already, got a knife or knives, thank you so much for your support.
Yeah, CG Martin and PH808 both already got their knives delivered.
Nice.
PH808 is in Hawaii.
Oh,
wow.
In Hawaii?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
DHL is so quick.
It's time me to that package.
Yeah.
We'll try sneaking you into Hawaii next time that way.
I'm in.
Alrighty, what do we have here? We got a few knives kicking It's just some knives that like.
This
oh,
is the
it's
part
still
where we
here.
talk about the things that we're surprised are still around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, don't we have the Nakagawa?
The one we talked about this morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go grab it.
That too. But what you got?
This is my pile.
Oh, yeah, that's your pile.
I got a big pile of stuff
Yeah, you
here.
should start talking about that.
You know, I think this. I was actually doing the thing where you segmented grapefruit the other day, and I think this VG Zeos would be amazing. Kurosaki is a great friend of ours and an incredible blacksmith. VG Zeos is a neat kind of steel, but it just is thin. It's smooth. It's pointy. It's so light. It just feels like that delicate little tool that you want when you're trying to like curve around something. And I think the way he's cut the blade with the tang being a little taller here, it's gonna just, huh?
Overhead camera.
Oh, sorry. I don't know what I'm doing, clearly.
You can see it, right?
Oh, here we go. Yeah. The way he's cut the tang here, it's just like a little bit taller. So I feel like you could also use it when you're cutting on a cutting board. So really versatile. This Nigara VG10 Petty for $215. It's tall. It's like small gyuto almost. Like you could use this for chopping. This is such a great knife. And Nigara is an incredible blacksmith. So $215 for this knife is an absolute steal of a deal. And yeah, that's a Nigara VG10.
You wanted to talk about the left-handed gyuto, right?
Yeah, let's talk about these too. Because tell us more about Yaoji. I remember seeing Yaoji knives. When I first started, I think we had a Yaoji Yodeba.
Yes,
Didn't
we did.
Yeah.
Well, the Yaoji-san is he used to work for Kitaoka-san, right? Kitaoka-san
right.
is this blacksmith who probably was the only one blacksmith who was doing at the single bevel knives at the Takefu Knife Village. So this young Yaoji-san, went to apprentice under him, and he recently started his own workshop.
Yaoji started his own workshop, and he's been making these. This is a left-handed and a right-handed.
Yeah. Gyutos.
Single bevel gyuto. This one has a kiritsuke tip. So what does that mean, single bevel? As you can see, they look very different on either side. Well, this side actually has an angle as the knife is ground down into the blade, right? How's this gonna work? How can I show you this?
I can
You
show
know how knives are. Now to explain.
Well,
so,
you can show the little bit more bigger single bevel.
oh, that's a good idea.
Right?
Yeah. It's a bit more accentuated.
Here.
Put your hand flat next to it.
We have yet to figure this one out.
Yeah.
Oh. There's too much going on. Basically, a single bevel is a knife that's only got an angle on one side, flat on the back. Usually they're these big fat knives like
there.
Deba and stuff like that. He's making them where they're very thin, like as thin as a normal gyuto would be. And there's a real advantage to that, to me, is because when you try and use a single bevel knife to cut a lot of the food we have here in our cuisine and Western world, it's just like it's not right. This, though, I think you'd be able to use it, have more versatility and a more application in our kitchen. And I think you would cut stuff so fine and so thin, it would be magnificent.
Yeah. It's very unique. There aren't that many people who makes the single bevel gyutos. And great thing about him is that he has he has control over all the steps that he does. Unlike Sakai, you see some of the single bevel gyutos from Sakai, but the sharpening process is done by someone else and stuff. Where Yaoji-san does most of the stuff by himself. So they're
really nicely made.
Yeah.
I think the single bevel gyuto is going to be the future real knife nerd shit.
Talking about the Yaoji-san,
Oh yeah,
he
there's another one
recently
for him.
started making the this guy here. I think the setup is kind of weird.
Nathan, can you set this to wide focus?
Wide focus? Yeah.
It should be one of the program buttons.
We are having some technical difficulties.
Well, we're doing some super fun technical difficulty things.
There we
Naoto,
go.
we got
There
a
you go.
question from.
Wide focus. Nice. That's better.
Nice.
There we go.
Oh, Sky,
So-
you know that's why you do what you do. You
So-
know exactly the solution. Good work. Good
This one-
work.
This one here, Yaoji. Yaoji-san start making a double bevel knives. Making a single bevel and double bevel knives, so quite a bit of different things, and he's actually pulled out pretty good. Very nice and thin. Ginsan stainless steel, really nice thin behind the edge. Beautiful Damascus.
Crazy. That's like 250 kind of layers of Damascus. It's
Yeah,
like super intricate, detailed pattern.
This is under Ginyo. Gin as a Gin.
Like gin.
Yeah, Jin.
Give me some gin, yo.
Yes, that's how you spell it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I like this knife, and you don't see really well. It doesn't really show up that well in the camera lens here. There is a really nice hammer texture on the surface of this knife that is hard to kind of pick out because of that Damascus. Yeah, you're getting it there. There's a little bit of shadow, but I like having that texture. I like it. I like it a lot because it just means the knife's not going to stick on stuff as you cut.
This is incredible,
A
though.
banging little blade. This one.
It is incredible because the generally speaking, little bit of texture. When you try to put a little bit of texture, they have to usually make it a little bit thicker.
Yeah.
And how makes it this thin is like incredible.
Yeah. Okay.
I heard there was a question.
Yes. Got a couple, but we had a sharpening question for you really
Okay.
quick. Brain Cell got a Tosa Tsukasa 210 gyuto during the sale, and he was wondering how much can I hot rod it to get a thinner edge. He really loves the Hado Sakai Sumis and wants to work on his sharpening.
Oh, that's
Which knife?
the Tosa Tsukasa knives. So one of those Tosa knives.
Yeah.
It is one of those knives that that is really thick. So you could thin it if you wanted to. And also it definitely will have the potential to take such incredible edge as well as it's made with the white carbon #1 steel. I'm sure there's a potential it will take very long time to thin to the point that equivalent to the Hado though. So if you're gonna do everything by hand, it will be. I'm not quite sure if I want to take, because just take your time, right? Like do a little bit thinning, then leave it, use it, and come back. Yeah.
So
Thin it, use it for 2 years, thin it again.
Yeah, exactly.
And just kind of get it there slowly.
well, you can always take more steel off, and it's real difficult to put steel back on. So it's better to kind of do it, see what you like, and then do a little more,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But okay, so I have a question. If you're going to do that, like it's going to take a while. Like I've done hot rodding on a stone. It does take quite some time. What stone that we have now? What would you use if you really wanted to move steel fast?
Oh, you know what? We have actually a really good deal right now.
Which one?
The Naniwa lobster stones are actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can
yeah.
get like several off, like few off, and just because it's fast cutting, but also
Yeah.
it's a fast wearing. It wears really fast,
Yeah.
so. But
It
we
kind
are-
of like it breaks down. It feels like sandstone.
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
breaks down,
but-
it's what, $5?
Yeah, I think so. So you could get like a few of them and just.
And that does give, like, as it breaks down, it kind of crumbles a bit and gives you a nice sort of buff-looking finish, that
Yeah.
kasumi finish.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Atoma stone? The one that's like the diamond stone on the aluminum plate that's really flat.
Atoma's good. I found, especially working with the carbon steel like that, these stones work slightly better, feels like.
Is that because they kind of take a bit of a shape to it, not as
Bit-
hard and
bit,
flat?
yeah.
Okay. Well, and so I have another question about this is like, there's those new Naniwa diamond stones where the diamond is inside of that normal kind of stone material. So you've got that softer,
Yeah.
cushier feel, which is a weird thing to talk about when you're using a stone, but if you use stones, you know what I mean, compared to the
Yeah.
readily aluminum. Do you find those would be good for hot rodding?
They
Like
are
moving away a lot of
pretty
steel?
good. It doesn't expose as much diamond as I thought they would.
Okay.
They work fantastic. They cut really good.
Yeah.
But they don't. I think the base layer doesn't wear out as fast as they should. right? Like where the base layer, whatever, like if it's ceramic or whatever, the adhesive material, they have to wear it down to expose more material, right?
Right.
And I think its balance is slightly off. I don't want to say this.
Sure, I know what you mean.
But
Yeah.
I use primarily right now for that stone to actually put very coarse edge.
Yeah, super coarse edge. Well, and
That,
they're really
that
good.
edge is really good.
Like something Colin, who's our manager in our store in Calgary, was saying that he found with it is when you're doing some of those pocket knives with the real high-tech steel, like like S35 VN or Maximan or whatever, those ones that are really hard, but really tough steel, like for beating the crap out of.
Yeah.
It's really hard to grind that steel down. So he's finding that if you use those 90-watt diamond stones to get the burr and reform the edge, they work really quick.
Yeah, absolutely, right? Because
they're really good for that.
Because you don't have to remove that much of material off, like the thinning process. They work really good. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
I totally agree with that.
The other thing I was just going to say is that if you wanted a knife with a really tall, thin bevel that came down to a really nice edge and had a lot of exposed core steel, that was my segue. How'd I do?
Yeah.
This knife, I just keep showing this knife off, and I'm just selling it to myself is really all that's happening. It's like, I like Nikiri's, and it's weird. I only actually have one, and it's so old that, the factory doesn't even exist anymore. But this knife is just a little longer, and it's a little taller than the standard Nikiri shape, which is kind of like all of Manaka's knives. Hey, they're all just a little bit bigger all the way around.
Yep.
I don't have ATS 34. It sounds like it's meant to be a really tough, hard-wearing steel, so it's a little bit more robust. But he's made it so it's really thin. I don't know. I'm just so fascinated by it. I think it's a really handsome-looking knife, a little shiny, but not too overdressed. Yeah. I bought a set of tires instead of a knife. How boring. Okay.
So,
Do we have other questions, or we want to just have us keep blabbing on about knives?
what I just did, I just want to announce, I just did reactivate the a product called the Refurbished knives. So what happened is that throughout the year, we at the store level as well as here, we have some very some knives coming back or chipped, or some of those knives, or at the store level we do have demo knives. When you come to the store, you probably have tested them, right? So those knives, we clean it up and put the edge back on, and we'll do that this called refurb section, refurb, scratch and dent as is type of deal there. So it was really popular. First day, it was all gone, right? And so we've been communicating with the stores to see if they have something.
And do they?
Yes, they
Yeah,
did.
they all have some.
So
prepared
yeah,
demos
the Ottawa store have had some of the. So we'll tune in Ottawa later, but they had some the refurb knives. So we put those back online. So
Amazing.
if you are looking for some
Go to the refurbished section of the garage sale. There's more things there now. That's what Naoto's saying.
Yes.
Yeah,
Also-
because normally that stuff goes in the first minute. of the
Where's
sale.
that reusing? Because this is such a great score. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
This is a knife that has never been touched. We received this product, and upon inspection of receiving the knives, we found that they had flagged this knife as one that had a problem. And they even gave us a nice little arrow pointing to the little scratch. So
Can you see it though?
we made a deal with them, and instead of sending it back, it's being sold at what, 25% off?
20% off.
20% off. So this is a brand new reuse, and it has two very fine scratches. Oh, you almost had it right there, right where that arrow is, right where that arrow. I mean, if you care about scratches, maybe don't get this knife.
Yeah. But other than that, it's brand new, never have been used.
But I mean, I get it. This is a beautiful knife. It's kind of a showpiece, this one.
Yeah.
But I do really like this reuse in Nikiri. I like the little curve to the edge. I like that overhanging kind of tip to it. Like, there's just such a badass look to this knife.
I like the taper of the handle. It gets a little wider in the middle.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is comfortable.
Very comfortable. If you're somebody that doesn't like how bulky a Japanese handle can be, those Ryusen's feel a lot smaller in the hand.
And it's Canadian maple, eh?
Yeah.
I ate one of those on Monday, thanks to Ben.
A Canadian maple?
Yeah.
Oh, they're real good, eh?
I will.
Oh, for sure, eh?
I will let you know how to find this knife too, though, because it is not the same section.
Oh, sneaky. Stashed
So-
away. This is a good find. It's VG10, right? Or is this one SG2?
That's ATS 314.
Well,
I know.
you heard it here, folks.
So that is the. This knife is under Ryusen Fukakru FUKAKURUY Fukakru Nakiri, and it's got a.
If you search
That's
final
scratching.
sale on the website.
Oh, that's probably
that'll,
easiest.
Yeah.
that'll show up.
Yeah. Search the English where it says final sale. That'd be better.
They'll
Yeah.
probably find a few. Yeah, you find a few there. But yeah, it's a good deal. I don't know if you still have those. Yes, we do still. Okay.
Nice. Yeah, it's a beauty.
Yeah. So that's beauty. As well, we have some dent.
Yeah. You know, these are good little knives in a way that you could probably do some practice sharpening on them, and you could probably take them camping.
Yeah.
You could probably give them to someone that you know that needs a decent knife, but isn't going to be nice to it. Because they're bent, but it's strange. Like some of them, like this one's kind of off center on the handle. Like the knife is straight, but it's not on straight, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So that one there.
Wow, it's sharp though.
Yeah.
Did you
No.
thin that out?
No. What, did I?
It looks like it. Actually, it does. It doesn't look like you did it. It looks like
it's-
somebody
oh,
did it.
oh.
Because when you do it, it doesn't look like anybody did it. That's
No,
that's
this one
the
was hard.
magic.
I think this one I did it because this line here is the sandblast.
Oh.
So yeah.
Yeah, this
one,
is a line of Miyabis we carried for a bit. And you know what? They're great. They do a good job. Yeah, like this guy, we got a little bit of a barrel at the tip here. Right?
So that, what's that? The
And this is like a Hanasuki. I mean, the time when having a knife with a bend in it is bad is when you're trying to cut something
it-
straight.
I think it's got a handle. It's got a.
Oh, it's got a crack handle.
Yeah. So that's $100.
Yeah, okay.
And this one here is a $85, a petty.
And we're finding these in that final sale again?
Yeah, if you type final sale, you'll be able to find them there.
It's a hot tip.
And the yeah, that was good deep. There are two Miyabi Co. 240s. They're bent slightly, and they are $145 instead of $257.
You know, I have one of these and I use it when I'm cutting pizza. And we have that like pizza stone thing you put on your barbecue and it gets real hot and it makes good pizza.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's see how.
It's a great knife for the backyard, really. I mean, like sometimes you want to have that kind of thing out there. I just put a really coarse edge, like I use the 400 Chaucera stone for an edge on it. It's great.
This is actually, it's slightly, it's slight bent.
And yes, we've tried bending them back, but this is a thing sometimes with steel is it doesn't it doesn't stay straight.
One of the thing about these type of knife is that it is mono steel, therefore they like to come back very easy, like they're springy. So I'll try my best to.
All right.
Yeah.
Kate,
Okay.
let's move past the Miyabis. I mean, they're a great deal. They're just not that exciting.
Well, maybe for some, like looking for deal.
For some.
Yeah.
Hey, have we got any other questions or things people want to know about?
Yeah. Earlier we had a couple of folks asking about good deals on boning knives, and Ariel just asked, which are the knives on the far left in the red boxes? Which might be on the tables behind you.
There?
I think your other left.
The other left.
We've got a whole bunch of stuff, depending on
Red box?
what they're looking
kind of
for.
all of them, Ariel. Which one are you looking for?
Yeah, a lot of them have this
Red
This left?
red
insert.
velvet on the inside.
Yeah.
Like the side with my watch or the
No.
side without my watch?
Without your watch.
I'm
House
inside
left.
out. That's my right. So on my right. Do you mean on the right on the table? Or
Stage right. Yeah.
stage right behind me? Is it underneath the clacker wheel or on the side table?
I'll get more info on that
Okay.
one.
We'll find
I,
out.
I
GB
also
was-
I saw John commenting that he got the Nigara VG10 Damascus.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Which is just exciting. Like if you got a sweet knife this week, shout it out in the comments. We want to know what you got.
This is the Nigara I want. It's the 300. That is the 300. The 300 butcher's knife. It's like a scimitar.
So cool.
Nice and tall. And this is SG2. This is a really beautiful knife. I cut lots of steaks though, so I mean it kind of works for me. But I think if you cut anything, this knife would be rad. I think it's so good.
Who was asking about these knives? Ariel. Okay, well Ariel, these are the ones I wanted to show off
Yeah, do it.
that we still have in stock. These three here are some of the Nigara custom handles, right in the middle. I'm just such a big fan of the handles. I'm honestly normally more of a fan of the traditional wooden Japanese handles that are really simple.
But this one looks like a frog.
It's so cool. Yeah.
Tropical frog.
Amazonian tree frog handles.
Yeah, they're pretty badass. And they feel really nice in the hand too. Like they're very nicely contoured to fit your hand. And they feel good if you hold your knife back here, and they feel good if you hold your knife up here.
Yeah.
Which is pretty awesome. This Kyotsuke tip, pretty cool. Really beautiful Kuroichi Tsuchime finish on that.
And nice, like even the spine is nicely polished. The choil is really nicely polished. The thing I really enjoy about Nigara knives is they've got a good variety of stuff across a good sort of cross section of prices, but their fit and finish is always really nice. I also like their great story. So
These Hanasukis are so cool too. Super thick and like real chunky in behind the edge there. So
now I think that
Be
would
too
make an
delicate?
interesting boning knife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't call this a deal on a boning knife if you know, for the person that asked that question, but it's a pretty awesome boning knife.
I mean, like the real deal, I guess, like if you're just like looking at the good boning knives, you know, look at some Fujimoto selection.
Yeah.
And also the Sakai Takayuki SK
Or
line.
the Seki Kanetsugu.
Oh yeah.
Those
And
butchering knives are
Pro-M.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just the one that comes with like the little sheath
Oh, the
with the
Kanetsune.
simple wood Kanetsune, right? I
Sorry,
was
there's
mixing
a
those
lot
two
of
up.
similar names.
Yeah.
I'd also suggest these, and
yeah.
and they're not
Put them
what
in
we
there.
normally look at as boning knives, but I think these do a great job if you're doing more sort of lightweight butchery or deboning. They've got a nice fine tip to the blade here. It's just a 130 petty, right? So you're going to be able to pierce underneath skin or sinew to try and clean any of that stuff off. And you'll be able to, they're narrow enough, you can go around the curves of bones, get in and around stuff. And there's some great deals. This VG10, this is $164. This Ginsan one is $124. So this is the Sujihiki Hachi, H-A-C-H-I. I like the Ginsan steel, and I like the texture on the blade, right? And it's got a Pakawood handle, like pretty resilient. This one is the Juhachi, J-U-H-A-C-H-I. So both of those would be good. Now we also have this little fella. Nathan was talking about using this as boning. Now this would be good, especially if you were right-handed. But with that curve on the tip is nice if you're doing sort of that swooping motion on something. Nice because when you do have that centered tip, it's easier to pierce through the skin of something if you're trying to peel it. It's single bevel, so like I said, you want to be right-handed with this one. But Nathan's got one. He takes apart chickens like nobody's business with this thing. You might find the edge more delicate, and if you popped it in between a joint and torqued it to try and split the joint apart, you might see a little chip along the edge of your knife. Whatever, we'd grind it down, sharpen it again, be fine.
I've broken the tip off that knife about 5 times.
Yeah.
But it's very easy to bring back.
Yeah. So I always think those are great options. If you're trying to debone a leg and get the H-bone out and like do real stuff, like take down a lamb saddle, like probably you don't want this knife. Probably you want like boning, thick, strong, heavy boning knife. I like the Tojiro boning knife for that.
PH808 wants to know what happens to these beautiful knives that don't find a home before the end of garage sale.
We have a full dumpster outside. We just open that up.
There you have it.
No, of course not. They, they kind of disappear. They show back up on the website in a section. They don't have the same discount, but often a lot of the garage sale stuff is not marked up in a way, and it's just sort of priced as is. It's usually the Sujihiki stuff that we've got that's actually on sale. Like it's got a good discount on it, but it'll float around until it disappears. We don't hide it, so it'll be there.
All right. Well, we've got a guest from Ottawa.
Oh.
We've got another guest, but first we've got a guest from Ottawa. Nato, do you want to talk to Jesse a little bit?
Sure. Am I supposed to be like putting this on?
Yep.
I want to talk to Jesse from Ottawa.
Oh, you can.
Can I talk
All
to
right,
Jesse
you
from
can do
Ottawa?
it.
Yeah, there.
Whoop.
Do I get to see Jesse from Ottawa?
Jesse, who has arrived in.
Come in.
glorious
Breaker.
220p.
Yeah.
Can you hear me yet?
Can you hear me yet?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can
there.
hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes?
All right. Look, it's Naoto. Look, it's Jesse.
Yeah.
Oh, there's like a.
Well, the mic is
We're
the only one
delayed.
who can hear.
You are delayed.
You're delayed. We're very far away.
I'm developmentally delayed. That's what they told me. What's going on, guys? How's the garage sale in the capital city?
Pretty chill. Literally, we got our first big snow today.
Oh, yeah. How big is a big snow?
Not very. It's already gone.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, what'd you guys do? How'd the garage sale go? Did you buy anything?
Not yet. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see if anyone scoops up a little tiny Munishi gyuto.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I see what's happened. I've been told to stand in front of the camera. All right, so what's left? What do you guys have on your shelf there?
Yeah, we have a whole bunch of retired testers. We got steel and we got steels.
Oh, wow. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
You're not even a dad. Yet.
You don't know that.
Yet.
Yeah, I've got 4 really great knives that we're still waiting for someone to scoop up and bring home.
Okay. What do you got?
My personal favorite is the Fujimoto Hammertone.
Oh, wow. Those are great. That's SLB
Yeah,
steel. That's great.
Yeah, it was a shop tester. Got a little bit of love. We thinned it out and resharpened it. Good as new now.
Sweet. What's the price on that?
This is about to blow your cap off, Mike. This is 50% off.
Amazing.
So it's $128.50 now.
And no one's bought it yet?
And no one's bought it yet. This is like a
Suckers.
prep cook's dream right here.
Yeah, I bet. Oh, I have a feeling a bunch more knives are about to go on sale. I see Kevin on a penny farthing. Oh, you can thread the needle. You can go through there. Oh, goodness. All right, let's just pretend that's not happening.
Okay,
Let's not reward
moving
bad
right along.
behavior, guys.
Next knife. You ready for it?
Hit me.
We got the Tojiro Atelier 240 millimeter.
Oh, can I buy that one?
You can, Mike,
That's
and we'd give you.
such a great knife.
It's 40% off.
Yep. Do it.
We
That's
sharpened it
so
a couple
great.
times. Hasn't been thinned yet. It's ready to go.
It hasn't been thinned yet.
It hasn't been thinned yet. We just sharpened it a couple times. A favorite in the knife skills class, the cut like a chef class.
No doubt. I love those Fujimotos.
It's
when you go to cut through something like a squash, I find that's when they really shine. They just like drift.
Yeah.
Like there's no resistance. There's none of this like, okay, now that my knife is stuck halfway into the squash, what do I do?
Yeah, exactly. Real wedgie for those tough veggies.
Wow. Wedgie for the wedgies.
A little wedgie on that Fujimoto.
Right,
That's a t-shirt.
yeah.
How much is that Tojiro, the 240?
The 240, it is now 40% off, so it's $339.60.
$339. That's a great deal. I like those knives a lot.
I'm surprised this isn't just flying out the door, Mike.
Yeah. They're real sleepers, I think. I think they're underrated because people are like, VG10, that's steel for a normie.
Yeah.
And I think,
Yeah.
sure, it is. But you know what?
You're telling
ridiculous.
VG10, you're gonna hold a good edge.
Yeah.
It's not gonna stain.
No.
Easy to sharpen.
Yeah. What more do you want,
Crazy.
right?
Yeah. Do you want to see the real sleeper hit though?
I do. Is he sitting next to you?
We have a Moss. We got a Masakage Zero Nikiri.
Wow. I like those
It's,
knickers. They're beefy.
They're beefy boys. I like to call them the cool dad knife.
All right. So you got one then?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Or maybe I will if someone doesn't buy this before me. This guy's been thinned out and it's now 45% off.
Jesus. That's the least you would ever see that knife for.
It's true. And it looks like brand new. Shout out to Meki in our shop for thinning this guy out.
Oh, Meki. Yeah, well,
Colleen.
That's Colleen's.
This is actually Colleen.
That's incredible. So Colleen's one of our newest employees, and clearly Colleen has picked up on sharpening quite quickly because that is outstanding.
Complete natural on that one.
Are they a musician?
She's not, but she is Awagami super at her job.
Oh, do you guys have a list of these puns written down on the other side of the camera? Is that what's happened?
No,
Is Al going down to the
it's
basement?
it's just flowing out of my head right now.
You are a naturally stoned. I see. I can't. I don't even got anything. I was trying to put natural.
Not during
natural
work hours,
stone.
Mike. Not during
okay,
work
good,
hours.
Yeah.
My last favorite retired tester that I got is this Hato Sakai Ginsan 240 Kiritsuke.
How's that? What was that? We never had a tester like that. I've never used that knife. What's it like? Do you remember cutting with it?
Yeah, it's sharpened like it's carbon, but it's easy maintenance like stainless.
Yeah, that's Ginsan for you.
I can do it once.
Alex shredded a whole cabbage with this knife in 39 seconds.
It's a video or it never happened now? So if you can shred a cabbage in 39 seconds, I'm guessing that's a pretty nice knife. It doesn't, like cabbages are easy to cut, except for they kind of like are a big thing and your knife can slow down and then you have to like shove it through. You can kind of take your time.
Yeah.
I mean, I usually just use that big slice coon, that big A mandolin that we've got. I think that thing.
Sure.
I mean, but I'm an amateur.
But
Al's a pro.
Mike, if you had this knife, you wouldn't need a mandolin now, would you?
You know, this is why anytime I go to the shop in Ottawa, I actually leave having bought stuff. Is because they just they just convince me to buy stuff all the time. It's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Carry on only.
Yeah, so those are the 4 coolest retired testers that are still kicking around in the shop for some reason.
Amazing. So, okay, how was the rest of the garage sale? Did you guys have fun?
Yeah, we're having a really good time. Alex has some of his favorites that are still hanging out, fresh, untouched by our hands.
Oh yeah. Let's see. What do you got? Are you swapping headphones so we can hear them? You're like a couple of teenagers riding the bus.
That's exactly what Chris said, actually.
Yeah, except for you can just like have a listening party now. They're ruining all the best parts about being a teenager.
Yeah, I don't know what a listening party is. That didn't make it to where I grew up.
Small town boy.
Yeah. But yeah, no, garage sale's been pretty great here, Mike. It's you know, like Justin said, today's a little slushy, so you know, freezing rain. People are being safe.
Oh yeah, you guys get that lovely freezing rain every year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I feel like no one knew it was happening today too. You know.
No one ever does, except for they do, and then they forget how to drive.
Yeah.
The Ottawa way?
Yeah, I was one of those this morning. I've got my summer tires on still.
Nice work.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But yeah, do you want to see a couple of fun knives I have left here?
Okay, fine.
All right, no, I'll just go home then. No, what do I got? I got 5 here. 2 from one of my favorite blacksmiths. Oh, here, thank you, Jesse. I don't know why these are still here. Like, these 2 knives made by Yoshimi Kato, right? They're SG2. Some really funky patterns. I've never seen this Vitsushime one.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it makes me think of I have the words in French, like a senso fléché, like you know, just like an arrowy pattern, I guess.
Oh yeah, like a what is that thing called? The feathers on an arrow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Isn't it called like the flocking or something, or the fletch?
Whoa.
The fletching.
The fletch? Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
Right? Yeah. It's kind of got like, you know, I think about it. We've had from him the black Damascus that had a similar pattern, which I think sometimes is called a chevron Damascus. So it's kind of got that same sort of overlapping angular style, but I think that knife's cool. I was actually eyeing up the Kobunka. I'm a big fan of Kobunkas, and I think, you know, they're great as a gift knife because the size of those knives, that size of a knife is so useful. I think eventually that's what I landed on as a good knife with my mom, and it's one she uses the most because it's small, it's easy to manage. She just is comfortable using it. Plus, you can get a hand wrapped around the handle in a way that you can actually chop with it, so it's like good.
Oh yeah. That was a Kobunka was my second knife actually from here.
Oh, nice. Which one?
Koishi Kobunka.
You're smarter than me. I just got a Yuki.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about that. I think I just was easily convinced.
That's also true.
Yeah, peer pressure. I cave in quick.
Right.
Yeah, but no, but that knife for like that size for like I did a lot of fingerling potatoes where I worked, and that was just like a breeze.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, nice and nimble. Those little guys. What else you got?
I don't know if you have any of these left out your way, but Isamitsu Nikiru?
No, I think we're out of them here.
I don't know why this is still here. Like, I don't know. This is like the real like head scratcher for me. You know, it's a beautiful knife, some great steel.
What do you like about the Isamitsus?
What do I like about the Isamitsus? you know what? It's a simple knife. It's a bit understated in a way. I think you're getting so much more performance than that knife might kind of look like. Some incredible people making it too, and they actually they hired, is it two female blacksmiths now? So like
Oh, really?
they're
That's incredible.
it's at least one, maybe two.
Well, yeah, and I think I agree with you completely. Those Hisamitsus are just such sleepers in the way that they're understated, but very high performance. They're not,
and
they're
like
not
super
flashy.
thin. Yeah, and it's like just, it's quite tall too. So if you've got a bigger hand, it's this knife will still not be too small.
Yeah.
There's no chance. Or if you're like me and you chip your knives when you work too fast, you can do that once or twice before you notice.
Sure. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. The next two are like my two like true personal
I have a question
favorites.
about that Tojiro Atelier. What's the grind like? Are they convex?
I've got a
flat, or
Kisuke
Yamaguri?
Manaka ATS 34 bunka.
What's the grind like on the Tojiro?
This has to be like one of the most beautiful knives I've seen in a long time. And I feel like, I don't know, I like Manaka-san's story. I like that. I feel like he goes on like web forums and just pinpoints everything people look for in a knife and just makes his knives like that.
I think you're right. I think they're wicked. I think Manaka's knives are very cool. I wish we had some of that, the Honosuke. I'm all over that Nakiri. I would definitely take a 240 if someone gave it to me for Christmas, Jesse.
I got one here.
Yeah.
We got one here.
Right.
Yeah, his Honosuke is like Naoto. I call him once a week to ask me if those are in.
Nice. Okay, listen, we got a question though about that Tojiro.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, about the Atelier.
Whoa, all right.
We would like to know about the grind. Is it convex? Is it a V grind, or has it got a bit of that bullet-shaped Hamaguri? It's just.
I'd say this one is more of a flat grind, right? At this point, maybe because of how the edge has been like sharpened up a little bit, like the Koba might be a bit more of that like convex, but I wouldn't quite call it that. It's still like,
so it's got a bit more of a Koba kind of like secondary edge on it. Okay.
Yeah. This is especially like if you want this to be a workhorse of a knife, like something you can just work an entire shift with, it'll still be sharp and it like never chip on you unless you're asking for it. This knife will be the knife.
You sharpened it, you said 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
So it's a little thicker. You sharpened it twice. All right. Well.
Yeah.
The way we sharpen knives is we often don't wait until they're terribly dull. So I can't imagine much steel has been removed. So it's a flat grind is the answer. Excuse me. But because it's been sharpened, it's going to be a little bit wider as it compared to what it would have been when it was brand new, right? Because of course, every time you sharpen it, you're removing a bit of steel. So it might be time to thin it out, but I think you'd probably get another sharpening off of it before you needed that. It's okay though. It makes it a little
There's probably
stronger.
like 1 or 2 more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, looks like we got Twig in here. Am I tagging off with Naoto too? Is that us saying goodbye to Ottawa?
I think Twigs just showed up early.
Oh, Twig's just chilling out.
Take your time.
Okay.
All right, well, Al, did you have more stuff? You got anything else that we ought to tell people about in there?
Well, I've got one last knife if you want to hear about another knife.
I love hearing about knives. That's why I work here.
Yeah. I have the Nakiri in this line, Mike. The Itsuodoi, the Homura Gurens.
Oh, you have the Nakiri? That's very cool.
I have the Nakiri. I bought it the first time those showed up because it's everything I look for in a knife. It's kind of like me. It's weird, it's big and clunky, but it gets the job done. Another wedgie, I'm told. Yeah.
You are weird, big, and clunky. I wouldn't say you're clunky.
Yeah. Well, you haven't spent enough time in the store with me around.
You might not be the most finessed thing I've ever met, but...
No. Yeah.
But you mean well, and that's all that matters. You gave it your best.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I think, you know?
Okay, so
But
what
yeah,
do you,
no.
what do you like about
this
it?
Yanagiba for what do I like about it?
Yeah, this Yeti.
Other than the weight and the looks, I like a heavy knife. Like if you don't like a heavy knife, forget about this one.
Yeah. Okay.
But this is it's $685. It's definitely not inexpensive, but I think for a Yanagiba of that length, made from such a reputable and talented blacksmith, I think this is like one of those where it's like definitely not inexpensive, but I would happily pay so much more for that knife.
I think I agree with you, and I think I'm not always a big heavy knife person either, but I do think a Yanagiba, I prefer them when they're big and heavy because all you need to do is draw the knife backwards. The weight of the knife on itself will drift through whatever you're slicing, and that's it. You're done.
I have just been instructed to do so.
You what?
Oh, Naoto's spinning the wheel.
I did.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Listen, well, we got Twig from Toronto ready to join us here. And I got people like circling around. I can't hear anything because these are like noise canceling headphones, and I'm sure they're talking to me, and I'm just like ignoring them. But it's what's new.
I haven't heard anyone say anything bad about you this whole time, just in case you're wondering.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Well, I'm surrounded by knives, so they're probably smart not to.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Cool. Well, hey, it was a pleasure chatting with y'all.
Yeah.
Why? Someone's got a. Is there a back scratcher? What is happening?
It's this awesome Kuhn Rikon spaghetti.
What is wrong with these people? What? Why? Why is this happening? I'm taking a personal day tomorrow. I can't handle this anymore. Okay, listen, thanks for showing us what you got. I hope someone snagged some of those. You had that Fujimoto SLD hammer tone, right? Nakiri, that's a banging knife. You got a 0 Nakiri, and you've got a 240 Tojiro Atelier, and you've got a Ginsan Hado. Oh, look at you guys. You're like
2 Nakiris, 2 240s. We practiced this for hours yesterday.
And I think the 0 Nakiri's gone now.
Oh, is it? I bet. That's smart. I'm glad.
The
it is.
Fujimoto, I have to add to it.
Oh, all right.
They haven't sent me pictures.
Sweet. All right, y'all. I'm gonna pass these headphones over, and now I'm about to pass the mic. Ciao.
Should we go through some of the earlier questions about the newcomers and stuff, or should we just like switch? What do you think?
Do we have some questions to go?
There's like newcomers.
Yeah, we got about 7 minutes before Twig pops in here from Toronto.
Yeah.
We did have a quick question. Tamuras wants to know, can you recommend me a high quality handmade knife with the budget around 250 euros?
Oh yeah, you get quite a few.
It's like 350 bucks Canadian.
Size?
Yeah, if there's any specifics you got there, like size or anything like that. Yeah, I'm gonna bump this bad boy up a little bit.
You're too tall for your own good.
How much was that the Muchan's Hakata?
Oh, it's about 400 bucks.
Oh, that's
it's a little more.
Okay,
yeah,
250.
Well, while Naoto's looking for that, I'm going to show you some of the newcomers to the garage sale. We didn't have a whole ton of late arrivals this time around, but we got a big box of Tojiro just showed up. These, if you're looking for a gift and you didn't find the right knife during the garage sale, would be another pretty slick contender. Or maybe even if you have a restaurant and you want to equip with some, some fancier knives that aren't so fancy that they're going to walk away on you. This is the Tojiro Basic Series. I don't know how much they cost or what steel they're made out of, but I bet Naoto does.
Well, that's actually VG10.
It's VG10?
Yeah.
Oh wow, and it's got a it doesn't have a distinct primary bevel. That's just an illusion.
But you know what? The price? So these are called Tojiro Basics, right?
Yeah.
And I'll just give you the price because they are smoking.
They're nice and thin.
It's super. It's actually the thinner.
Like a semi-full tang, sorta.
Yeah, it's thinner actually than their classic series.
I thought so. Yeah.
The 210 millimeters is really?
What?
The 200 millimeter, the gyuto,
What?
Yeah,
This is $65.
65 bucks.
65. What? That's ridiculous. 65 Canadian bucks. Wow.
Yeah. It's it's like stamped blade, but it's done really well. It's thin.
Yeah, and I mean, like a Tojiro stamp blade is going to be miles beyond.
So like
most
65
stamp
on a
blades.
200 mil and 60 on that.
Good Lord.
We have a Santoku as well as the Petty.
Are these
Petty
Paco
130.
wood or Eco wood, the handles? They
It's
got like a real wood grain.
It's like a, it's like, I think it's like very similar to my Carta.
Wow.
So like Petty is
Amazing.
$50, so that's really good. This is actually really new and unique though.
This is a throwback for me. This is like, we used to sell these back when I first started working at Knifewear.
Yeah.
These are the Tojiro origami, right?
But they decided to kind of not remake it. They still have origami series,
Okay.
but they've developed this shape. So they call it a table knife, but I would consider it a set of steak knives.
I mean, you could use it for anything you're going to eat, but we call them steak knives here.
Great thing is that put that on table. Put that on table there. I don't know if you can see them, but
it sits on the table like that.
Yeah,
So
without
the blade
touching the
doesn't
blade,
touch.
yeah.
So you don't necessarily need to stick it on your plate. You can set it on the table, and the edge won't touch your table.
and it looks actually pretty cool if you
They're
do that.
very slick. They're very they're very like
Futuristic.
kind of Blade Runner-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome.
And that's a $280 for a set of 4.
Yeah.
They will be available soon. We just snatched it from the box that's sitting in there.
Yeah, they're not actually on the website yet.
Not yet.
But
No,
if
that product is. But
Oh, okay, yeah. So if you really wanted, you could buy some right now. But
product
this is a
itself is
pretty
the
cool item for the
inventory's
holidays.
not increased yet. But,
Yeah, right.
but yeah, it's super cool.
They have one of these in the. Am I wrong in remembering that they're in the Museum of Modern Art, or was that the Shurikimono?
No, it's Shurikimono.
Okay, never mind. But they should be because they're pretty cool.
Yeah, they had an idea that the reason why they developed this is that they found this like the way to bend the knife, bend the steel.
Oh,
So
cool.
they're like, let's make something with the monopiece. So it's not welded or anything.
Oh, it's just all the same steel all the way through. Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I really like those.
But yeah, it's actually done pretty well. This one you don't need remember the actual knife was came with the little
a special
brush.
cleaning brush.
Yeah.
They were kind of dumb, but now that I've seen them as steak knives and they've revamped them, they're quite cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like them.
It sits very nicely.
Yeah.
It can sit on the side or but
Yeah. No, they're very elegant and futuristic, which I like. Oh, excuse me. Got the garage sale sleepies.
Hakata.
Somebody had questions about this Tadafusa Hakata. I don't know who.
Oh yes, a while back. Somebody just wanted some details on it. I'm gonna see if I can find that question.
Now this is the Nishiji series, right? And this would be blue carbon steel
Number 2 was stainless glass.
It's stainless, so yeah. Carbon steel along the edge there. Great for edge retention, great sharpness. But everything else you see is stainless steel. So pretty low maintenance. Just wipe that edge down when you're done using it. I really like the Hakata because it's got some extra steel up here, so it's a little bit forward balanced. The blade wants to kind of fall through foods a little more easily. It's got a bit of the flatness that you would expect from a Nikiri. It's definitely not really a rocking blade, I would say, because it doesn't have like a pronounced curve. But because of that flatness, it's going to slide really nicely. Those sliding cuts are going to be really pleasant with this knife. Pretty simple Japanese handle, walnut maybe? Maybe even something a little more basic, walnut?
Yes, walnut.
Yeah, walnut, Paco wood. So simple, lightweight, traditional Japanese handle there, which is my favorite design. Yeah, feels great in the hand. Oh, excuse me. It's not very heavy.
It is a little bit of
kind of
like
hefty, but
higher bevel too, right? So it's gonna cut really nice and smooth.
Yeah, it's gonna glide through stuff really cleanly.
So I collected a few blades that made the person who was looking for €250.
Right.
Yes, Marez. I got some more details
Details?
on that too. He says, yes, of course, I want around 200 millimeter and I want to start Japanese Mediterranean cuisine. And I'm starting with cutting vegetables for hours to start.
So, sorry, the 200 millimeter, 210, 200, and what's the second?
And wants to do a lot of vegetables.
Okay, so that's great.
Yeah, okay, so we have a Munutoshi here. Really simple, white carbon steel, simple design, nice heft to the knife. Like if you want a knife that feels a little bit heavier, this is definitely a bit of a heavier knife, but it is still really smooth to cut with. It's not too thick, and not too heavy either. Really beautiful. Munutoshi-san makes sickles, right?
Yep.
And just a very talented blacksmith who makes some stunning kitchen knives as well.
Yeah, it's great price. So these two are all carbon steel. The Mazaki, like Mazaki-san blade, like 331 Canadian. How much he puts, how much work that he puts in, and the price, it doesn't like.
Yeah, they don't line up.
It's how if there's a level of handmadeness, his blades are like top there, right?
Wow.
Up there. It's got a lot more hands involvement, like sharpening. He, takes a lot of time on doing that. So this one here for 331 is actually a steel of a deal. These two high carbon steel, have to be a little bit careful. If this is the first Japanese knife, just be careful. It could rust a little bit easy. This one here, I brought the one from Muneishi-san, the Muneishi.
Right, not Munutoshi. Yeah, I mix those up.
This one here is the blue carbon #2 with a stainless steel cladding. Nice tall bevel, so it makes it really nice, thin behind the edge.
Yeah.
When you're cutting a, like say, squash or some of the root vegetables, this does really great job. And as I said, stainless cladding on the outside makes it really easy to do the maintenance.
Yeah, totally.
And that's like $255 Canadian, so that's
nice.
a great deal too.
All right, well, I think it's time for a guest to join us. Let's see.
We're having
I'll
some
do this
small
one.
technical difficulties, but we'll see if it works.
We should have
We'll see if it works.
used the wheel to choose the store. And we keep getting one store.
That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
We did get the same spin a couple times on Monday, but I just like tipped it.
Yeah, right.
Tipped it to something different.
You did.
He's trying to load in. Maybe. In the meantime, while we're waiting for Twig to show up, Akuji was wondering, not garage sale related, but are the Masashi Kokuin gone forever?
No, I've had a few people ask that about the Kokuin. No, I mean, if it's on our website, generally, not always, but generally speaking, we will get it again, and that goes for most of the knives on our website. In the case of the Kokuin, they're just so popular. They're a newish line that came out about a year and a bit ago. But they're just so great that they sell out so fast. Like I have one, I love it. A lot of our staff have them. And right now we're just not getting enough to kind of keep up with demand for them. I think hopefully with the next couple runs, it'll start to like most of the people that have been waiting for them will get theirs, and then hopefully they'll be in stock more regularly. But yeah, in the meantime, sign up for the back in stock notification when they come back in. They're on order. Like, do you know we're expecting more knives from Masashi-san? Like
Hopefully, like
next
Christmas
couple months.
in.
Yeah, maybe probably before the end of the year. Hopefully. Yeah. No, they're a phenomenal line. So stay tuned. Oh hey.
Oh. Loading in.
I can see Twig. Oh. We keep losing him.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in the meantime, folks, if you're just tuning in, this is the final live stream of the Knifewear Garage Sale for fall 2023. We've been going all week. We went to Japan a few weeks ago, and Kevin bought all sorts of cool new stuff from new makers and some rare stuff and a lot of great deals. And so we've got this week-long sale that happens in our stores and on our website. So yeah, all kinds of new stock, stuff that we don't normally get to carry, and again, lots of great deals and discounts too. So that's happening in Knifewear, Toronto, Ottawa, Calgary, Edmonton, and Vancouver. It's also happening online at knifewear.com, and the sale runs until the end of the day Sunday. So you still got a few days to get into the shops. Today we're just covering over a lot of the nice stuff that's left. Because because there's a lot of great stuff that doesn't go first thing on Monday, and sometimes people miss out on the good stuff that we still have. So definitely your chance, if you haven't got a knife, or maybe you got one but you're looking for another one, or you want to start doing your Christmas shopping, now's the time to ask your questions, get help finding the right knife. We're also going through and having a little chat with some of our shops. We've got 5 shops now, so we're not going to chat with everybody, but we just had Jesse and Al in from Ottawa a few minutes ago. We're hoping Twig from Toronto will be able to join us soon, and then later on we'll have Francis. And then at the end of the stream, Nolan from the warehouse, wherever he is going to come show us his favorites, because y'all loved his knife collection video, and it's always growing. So we're going to see what out of the sale he might be adding to his collection this time around. Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know if we're gonna get Twig on here.
Well, that's okay. Sometimes not everything works. If you've been watching the streams, the garage sale streams for a few years, you'll know that we had constant technical issues back in the day, and we got to still have like a token technical issue every now and then to throw back to the good old days.
It wouldn't be a garage sale live stream without it.
Yeah, right. If everything worked perfectly, that'd be weird. I wouldn't be comfortable with that. Speaking of which, if you have a recommendation for a microphone for live streaming with, it has to be a lavalier, not like a desktop, like podcast mic, because we need something we can walk around with. But if you have a recommendation that is not a Rode brand product, we'll take it. Here's something cool. This isn't really a garage sale item, but this is something that I bought recently, and this is the reason I won't necessarily be buying a knife this garage sale. We'll see. There's a few days left. But this is a Hultiforce splitting axe. It's called a Hult splitting axe. I just got a pine tree's worth of wood, and I've been making do for the last few trees that I've brought home with my forest axe from Wetterlings that I've had for years, and it just wasn't doing it. It was just too much work and too much pain in the back. So I got myself a splitting axe. This guy is super cool. It's got a really narrow head, so not a lot of surface area for green wood to bind up on, and it's got a bit of a wedge shape. It's not a maul by any means. It's just enough of a wedge that it blows stuff apart, but still is quite sharp, and it's just a beauty. So these are from our Kent of Inglewood, our sister store, that is in Calgary next to Knifewear, and we also have them online at kentofinglewood.com. So if you're ever looking for a good axe for camping, for using in the backyard, that sort of thing, that's the place to check them out. We might do some axe videos next year. Depends on if people want to see axe content on the YouTube channel, but we're thinking about it. And you can actually find these in all the Knifewear stores. So if you live in Toronto, Ottawa, Vancouver, Edmonton, or Calgary, we have axes on the wall as well. It's not something we talk about a lot because the knives are so exciting, but we're big fans. I like axes. I buy more axes than knives these days.
Patrick had a question about a knife.
Yeah.
He just got the Yoshida Kusakiguchi ZDP 189 Kurochi Bunka 190.
Oh, nice. I was going to grab one of those to show off.
Best cutting technique.
Oh, with a bunka. This is a pretty flat-edged bunka, if memory serves me right. Yeah, look at that. So that's almost a Nakiri edge on this guy, which means it's not really going to rock. I don't know about you, but I learned most of my knife skills on the Food Network as a kid, and so I learned that kind of like rock chop that all the chefs on Food Network teach you, where you just leave the tip of the knife on a board and you kind of like rock and slide it forward. And that works pretty well with a lot of knives and a lot of ingredients, but there's times when it doesn't work so well. When you're cutting like tomatoes or anything that's got a tough skin and is a little bit delicate, a rock chop really doesn't serve you all that well. And so when I got my first Japanese knife, a Moritaka gyuto, which also has a pretty flat edge, I had to learn a different way to cut because the rocking just wasn't cutting it, for lack of a better term. So instead of rocking the knife like this, like that, what I learned to do was to slide the knife. So slide forward or slide back. I still hold the knife in the pinch grip because I just like the confidence and control it gives me with my blade. It really shortens a larger knife so it doesn't feel so big. But by sliding the knife, and you can get a little bit of a rock into it, you can start with the tip facing down a little bit and then kind of slide through like that. But by sliding the knife, you're taking advantage of how the edge works, because there's all these tiny, tiny little teeth, microscopic teeth in the edge, and they don't work really well by pushing. They work better by sliding. And so your knife will feel a lot sharper if you slide forward or back. And that takes practice. It can be awkward if you are used to a raw cut, but you can absolutely get there. It doesn't take that long to get the hang of it. A forward slide is really good when I'm just kind of like getting into more of that rocking motion, getting used to it. As you get more confident with the blade and you're cutting, say, smaller things like a mushroom or garlic, you can try the slide back, a real quick move like that. It's a good way to cut your knuckle off, so be careful. Make sure you're not lifting the knife up too much when you're doing that claw grip. But it's a nice way to like thinly slice mushrooms or garlic, and yeah, I'm a fan. We have some nice skills videos on our channel, so those should be helpful if you want to learn a little more. But yeah, if you have more questions, let me know.
Sweet. John May says, I think that may be the first time I've seen a ZDP knife with a Kuroshi finish. Nice.
Yeah, I haven't seen another ZDP knife with a Kuroshi finish before.
Well, there aren't that many making ZDP for one.
No.
There aren't that many.
Yep.
Two, reason why they could do that is the Yoshida-san's workshop is actually a little bit bigger than like people would like think of the blacksmith shop is.
Okay.
They do actually have the machinery or some sort of things to clad their own ZDP.
Oh, cool.
It's a little bit more bigger facility.
Yeah, they do more of the work in-house.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the reason being is that they are remote. They locate. Their location is quite a bit far from any other
Right,
like,
so they can't just call the guy down the street and say, hey, can you? Yeah.
So they get a ZDP, they laminate it in-house, then heat treats them and stuff like that in-house, right?
Yeah.
That's why it gets a little bit more. They have more control on that finish that they could do and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
You want some nerdy questions?
Yeah, sure.
Hell yeah. Bring them on.
Mr. Maker wants to know, are Santokus originally single bevel or double bevel?
Double.
Double.
Santoku here is the very interesting question, because Santoku knife basically was invented after the Second World War, which is ended in 1945. How many years ago was that? It's like very recently.
Lots. Yeah, wasn't that long ago.
That wasn't that long ago.
78
For
years
the,
ago?
for the history of knife making in Japan, the Santoku knife is very, very recent invention almost. Gyuto was around because the gyuto, the shape was brought into Japan when during the Meiji Restoration of the 1867. So Santoku was invented out of nakiri. So we have nakiri, that is the and nakiri has been this knife, nakiri, the rectangular blade. Nakiri has been this knife that's rectangular blade at home use knife for the longest time, right?
Like a couple hundred years, or?
Yeah, like
Yeah, and when did it become double bevel? Like, did it evolve from an Insuba, I'm guessing, or?
Not really. They have different route. Hey, like there is always the double bevel knife around. Say if you look at the very traditional called hochoshiki. This is a ceremonial knife that to butcher or the fillet fish without touching the. So they use this hashi or the chopsticks, the moribashi, and just a knife to fillet a fish. That's like it's the ceremonial stuff. And the shikibocho is the kitchen knife for the ceremonial stuff is actually double beveled. And if you look at the swords, they are all double beveled as well, Japanese swords.
Really? Okay.
So the single bevel knife is a little bit more specialized, I guess. It was the deba is developed in the Sakai region and stuff, and mainly it was used to So like if you go to if you visit a very traditional Japanese household, like say my grandmother, she had nakiri for pretty much everything. Then she had a yanagi and deba.
Oh.
So
and that was it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Neat.
And when she did cut meat, it would just be with one of those two.
Yeah, but from here, they thought it's nice to cut the tip off to make it thinner.
And then you got kind of a bunka sentoku.
Yeah, ish.
Yeah, because I've definitely heard people say, and I think maybe we were guilty of saying this back in the day, where it's like the bunka evolved from the santoku, but it's not really. They
No.
kind of just started existing around the same time.
Some region they call santoku bunka bochu as well. Bunka basically means the culture, and after the war, anything that's Western, like we had a Western style apartment buildings built, they are called bunka residents.
Right.
So anything that was like modern, we put the bunka in front of that.
Just part of that, like for like post-war modernizing process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So So bunka really doesn't really mean we use that terminology to differentiate these two shapes.
Yeah.
But that's why
That's more of a recent.
yeah, that's why some of
move.
the regions in Sakai they call it kiritsuke santoku instead of bunka.
Right.
Yeah. So anyways, here.
Cool. Ready
Little
for the
history
next one?
lesson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chromatic wants to know, do you think Mazaki will make the gyutos with the Sabatier KS profile again? You know, those really French style ones he was making for a while?
Yeah. He changes his style like looks like every batch. Here's the thing, because his knives are so handmade, he didn't have any of the templates, did he?
No.
Some of the knife makers, right? If you go there,
he's just
Kurosaki's,
freehanding.
yeah,
Yeah.
Kurosaki's shop, you see all the templates.
Yeah, because most of the santokus look the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He just like freehands them. So
awesome. I love it. It's kind of cool though, because when you get a Mizaki, it's like a snapshot of his progression.
Exactly,
And
that-
you're
exactly,
never going to see that exact
exactly.
shape again.
I like it
That's
because
super
it's
cool.
like when you get into learning about the handmadeness of some of the places we're working with, like Mizaki for a great example, it's really a financial decision. It's like he just doesn't have the money to pony up to buy what's probably a $30,000 or $40,000 device to make a custom template to punch out your steel so it looks the same every time.
Yeah.
So he's probably just got a thing that looks like an industrial paper cutter.
Yeah, I saw that from some of the
Just
footage
cuts it up.
from your
But,
guys' trip to
even
Japan.
with that though, like, some blacksmiths do keep the shape templates. He doesn't even have those shape templates.
Right.
He just like
Yeah, because they could just like put a template down on a forged piece of
and
steel,
raw,
like chalk
yeah,
around.
yeah.
Like
A lot
you're-
of,
like you're
lot of
sewing,
people
right?
do. Yeah,
Sure, yeah.
That's what a lot of people do.
Yeah, yeah.
But he doesn't.
I've seen
even-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Hujura does that. Hujura does
That's time.
has a templates,
That makes
very
sense.
thin piece of metal or something,
Yeah.
and he draws a line and he cuts it with one of the paper cutting
yeah.
looking tool, right? But
Right.
yeah, Mazaki. So is the
Cool.
so is the who is it? The guy, the Takeda,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
He doesn't. I mean, that's why
Yeah.
his knives are all small, medium, and large, and extra large, and special large, and whatever,
Yeah.
right?
That was a smart move to not commit to a millimeter length on his
Yeah.
knife. Yeah.
I like
I
it.
mean, it utilizes the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I have a 240 Kiritsuke Takeda, one of the original ones. And it was 240, which is like large,
Yeah.
but it's 260.
Nice.
And like the spine at the tip is less than a millimeter. It's crazy how thin it is.
Crazy.
Anyways, so
Oh, Takeda.
So,
More questions?
Yeah. Patrick, who was asking about the Yoshida bunka that he got, he was wondering if we'd suggest the 210 or the 240 Nigara VG10 Kiritsuke to complement the bunka he got.
Always 240. Yeah.
240.
Especially this Nigara. I don't think we have any more here. But especially if you already have a bunka, I would say 240. Also depends. Like if that seems like too much knife for you and it means you're not going to use it, like get the size you're going to use the most.
Yeah. If your cutting board's if your 240 is bigger than your cutting board, you're not going to get
Cutting
the
board's
use
only
out of
10
it so
inches
much,
deep then.
and it will really feel awkward.
Or it'll be an excuse to buy a large foot board, which
That's a good idea.
I'm thinking
too.
about right
You're
now.
a problem solver.
Yeah.
I agree though. Like that sort of 165 into 240, that jump is not too much of a jump. And if you're going to go for a bigger knife, go for a bigger knife.
and especially that the bunka that he's got was 190 mil, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I really feel like when you've got that 240 and a 210 side by side, and you go through and you cut a bunch of different things, like when you cut a beet or a turnip or a cabbage or even just like a really fresh, dense onion or potatoes or sweet potatoes, any of those kinds of things, you really feel a difference between a 210 and a 240 in the factor of it's just one cut. You don't have to do any sawing. You can use the whole length of the knife, and it's just sort of mass, and its length just drifts through the food. You use way less pressure. Like you're not pushing as much,
Yeah. You know
which
why?
is safer and easier. Science.
Why? Science.
Science.
Here. So 210 and 240. 240, 210. When you're using the whole blade, say starting from here to here, draws a line, you cut like, imagine you cut like here. The angle of which even the same thickness of the spine and the same thickness of the like at the edge, when you draw the line like this, a diagonal line, and when you cut it, it's like, makes a really, really thin line. But when you do it longer with a 240, the virtual angle of the edge will be actually much thinner.
Oh.
It's like a lower angle that
Yes.
you're going
That's like,
in through.
okay, so you're talking about thinking about it in 3 dimensions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I don't know, like back in the math, we did this like thing in, I think junior, like the middle school or something.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have
yeah.
this cube and you take
Oh,
3
yeah,
dots
yeah,
and
yeah.
cut it. So
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, right. Well, I just like how you think about. Often you think about a knife and you consider the thinness this way, which is great if you're just cutting straight down. But when you're sliding a knife forwards, you also need to think about the taper from the tip getting wider to the heel, so it spreads apart from the front to the back as well as the top to the bottom.
Yeah. I've used my 240 because it's the biggest knife I own for carving a turkey, a brisket, a watermelon, like all of the big stuff that people would do, you can do with a 240.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 240, I guess.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, what else we got left?
So
Well, we got.
Sean is having a job.
Yeah, they're having some technical difficulties. So
Yeah, their internet's not as
Right.
dependable.
I actually got these.
I brought you guys a present.
Hey.
We've only got 2 of them,
Iron coffee,
Oh.
but I brought 4 cups.
iron coffee.
Oh, yeah,
nice.
yeah.
3 milligrams of caffeine, I'm guessing.
And this is the additional. This is the iron.
This is from Sanjo.
Yes.
It's an iron
I-
supplement.
Yeah.
Explain to everybody here.
So it's like the coffee, instant coffee thing.
This is from Kevin. If you didn't hear him in the background.
Yeah. So he just came back from Japan.
You're upside down.
No, I'm not.
So it's from the Tsubame Sanjo. That's like really, famous place for kitchen knives as well as all other steel thing. And apparently they made this instant drip coffee. If you actually open it up,
Are you gonna make it for us?
Well, you got a camera there. Maybe you
Yeah. Let's make some room.
let's like take a look at what they did. This is very
Let's do an unboxing.
typical Japanese, not instant coffee.
Oh. What do we do?
What's up with this light?
Why are lights failing on us today? Was it that one earlier too?
Yeah.
All right.
So what happens is
Kevin to the rescue.
Now we've got more mood lighting now.
they have something like this, and you hook this,
These are so smart.
right?
I love so many things about Japan, like this.
And I think you just there's the
So this is like a portable pour over.
yeah exactly.
It's mood lighting. Yeah, this is plugged in.
You open here
Yes.
and there. So you just like there's a spot and you pour that in, and this is interesting because obviously it's so what it's made out of. Inside here is coffee beans for sure. Brazil, Colombia, Honduras, and they added a steel. Right here, they added steel powder.
Steel powder. Iron or steel?
They say it's iron.
Okay.
Basically, the healthy version of sport water.
The healthy version of swarf water. Oh, that's good.
But here, if you need extra iron,
Yeah.
here's it too.
So we're
This-
gonna
this
drink coffee
pouch is-
with
yeah.
added iron in it.
So here, okay.
It smells really good.
So
I mean, I'm not a
yeah,
coffee
you just
connoisseur, but you are.
and this has a 3 milligrams of the steel.
Hey.
Did you turn it back on?
Yes.
Wow, you're good at that.
I'm a gas station coffee connoisseur, and this smells great to me.
Let's make a pour over.
All right.
Can I get the
Yeah.
Like with the
Yeah,
on-off
nice.
switch.
yes? Here you go.
Can we get some extra iron
That's
in
why
there?
you're the big boss.
It says like to add it later.
Add it later. Okay.
Don't steep
Yeah,
the
you
iron.
don't want it to rust.
Oh God. This is the wrong. We need the gooseneck kettle for this.
Yeah. Well, we
Yeah.
do actually have them in the back, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we do have one.
I love how you're just like cycling it around.
One of the problems I find with this type of the drip coffee is just it does it super fast and it doesn't. We should probably just leave it like this, eh? Because did you see how fast it went?
Let's give it a minute or two
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
You see how fast it
This
just
is
went
this is
through?
where we need Twig. Twig's an amazing coffee connoisseur.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
but
pretty
if
sweet.
you are like iron deficiency, this is great the coffee to add it to your diet. 3 milligrams additional iron.
What does the iron powder look like? Show us.
I don't want to do
yeah, open it. Yeah,
I do open it.
Take a look.
but, yeah.
Come on.
Someone say-
Do it. Do it.
Here.
Do it.
I know,
Do
it on the
it.
box.
it won't probably look.
Put it on the box and then we can slide it from the box into the coffee.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
there,
'Cause
can,
it-
can you pass me that that one? Yeah. 'Cause it doesn't
It's
open.
gotta be Japanese. It's gotta be easy to open.
No, you would think.
It's gonna make you think twice about actually consuming
They
it.
really don't want you to eat this swarf.
Yeah. You think.
Is it actually iron?
It is iron.
What color is it?
It is iron.
It's just white.
Yeah.
Why don't you pour it all out?
You're really zoomed in.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
Sniff it in.
Is this Japanese iron
we
or
have some iron.
This
Or
is Sanjo.
Bolivian-
This is a taste
Bolivian
of
iron.
Sanjo for you.
a
Taste
taste
the
of
sand.
Sanjo?
Iron.
Why'd you rub it in your gums, Nathan?
Force a habit.
Oh my! Did you?
Iron.
Yep.
That's
Yep,
hilarious.
It kind of tastes like metal.
Yep. Okay.
It's kind of. I think there's sugar in there too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They
It's very metallic.
I know in Sanjo
It's just gonna make
area
your coffee delicious.
they have iron ice cream as well.
Really?
Ice cream with iron powder.
That's awesome. That'd be like in Alberta if we had just had like crude oil flavored gelato.
Oh my god!
Which I'm shocked nobody has invented yet.
Oh my god! We're gonna be rich. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Stop the live stream. We don't want anybody taking that idea.
yeah. It does
Yeah.
have a bit of sugar there, as well as the
Okay, can we try this coffee? I really want to try it now.
Sure.
Could we do a double brew? Can we make like 2 cups, like a really weak one after?
It is super weak.
Oh,
I thought you meant
super weak.
could we brew the
It-
same cup with 2 bags?
It will be super weak. It just like went right through it.
Just you gotta squeeze it out, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's just like pour it into 2 cups then or something. Like I want to taste this iron coffee.
It's like
This is riveting, guys.
We could just look at it
yeah.
and talk about it,
Looks like
or we could taste it.
I want to
why
taste
not?
it. I'm sleepy. I need some coffee. Oh, we should do like a pre-iron and a post-iron taste.
oh, there's a
Screeching sound.
pre-iron.
It's already
Post-iron.
Here, can I try? Ooh, this is hot. It's really
It tastes like very terribly weak coffee. I feel like it needs to
I've
be
got
stirred.
another one. Let's make another one this week, coffee. So I'd like to try some.
hot. Oh, that might be the weakest coffee I've ever tasted.
Hi guys.
Hey.
Yeah, but you didn't put the powder in.
Ugh.
There's powder in here.
That was this one?
You have to you have to compare.
I bet you I won't notice the difference.
That's not very good coffee.
To start with, no,
No,
and then
no.
And then this one's got the,
That's pre-iron.
No, not pre-iron. Yeah, that's pre-iron.
that has the iron in it?
Yeah.
It didn't improve it.
We didn't mix it.
I can't taste the difference.
I think
it's
all
sunk to the bottom. I think you also need to put it all in.
To one,
Riveting.
like
Riveting television. Riveting.
Yeah, that's what we're known for.
oh,
here
it's
on
yeah.
for
This
YouTube.
does smell like
It needs to be stirred. I imagine the iron sunk to the bottom.
yeah.
Where's that goose spoon at?
I can't wait until Monday, and it's like, how did all 4 of you get sick over the weekend? Well, we shared the same cup of
Oh my
iron
god,
coffee.
that's terrible. No, that made it way worse. Oh, that made it way worse. Oh, that's awful.
Ugh.
Oh, that's awful.
Oh, it hangs too.
Oh, it tastes like,
It gets worse in time.
Tastes like coffee.
Yeah. The
Tastes like iron.
It does. It does.
if you like
it
the
tastes like when someone
gas station
scrapes
coffee,
an aluminum
that's
pan.
that's good souvenir. I
Ugh.
know how Because they don't brew
Right?
properly.
That's
Because they just
terrible.
they just go.
Yeah,
right
it just
through
goes
them.
right there.
Yeah.
Chromatic wants to know how many iron coffees it would take to forge a 240 gyuto. At least 3.
Yeah, you would need a lot.
What are you doing?
I'm pouring water into the cup with
That-
more coffee water.
Would
Yeah.
you guys like an actual knife question?
Yeah, sure.
Does that sound fun? James is interested in a thin, unique petty that's been hand forged from a small shop. Price doesn't matter.
Thanks for the save, James.
This
I'm gonna keep drinking this.
small
Not
shop,
wood.
thin.
Oh, ooh, the Munishi.
This
Munishi? Munitoshi. Munitoshi.
handmade.
Oh, Manaka. Yeah, we got some of my favorites going on here.
The
Gecko.
No.
Small, sharp, thin.
sure. The whichever. Here.
Did you actually buy it at Gecko? Okay, so we got a couple. This is the, Kevin bought this one, he was just saying. This is the Gecko with the VG Zeos steel. This is one of the ones I think would be great. This is what I was talking about earlier at the top of the show, doing it with grapefruits or something. Like nice tall bevel, right, on that. I don't know. Look at that. There's a lot of coolness in this knife. Feels very light, but I mean, it's not crazy thin at the spine. It's actually a pretty solid knife, but really thin taper on it right down to the edge. And it's a flat bevel. So going to be real sharp. Now this Manaka here is really blowing my socks off. They're just beautiful. Really, really blowing my socks back.
Show us your feet, Mike.
Nice. Like just such a beautiful knife. I really am fascinated by this steel, which is meant to be hard and hold a good edge, but also be really quite tough. And I think sometimes, depending on what you're doing with the petty, sometimes you want that beautiful, fine, finessed blade. Other times you're just using it as your all-purpose knife when you don't want to take out your big knife. And if that's the case, something a little tougher might be wise.
That's thin.
Now this guy is thin as thin gets. This is quite cool. But it's very tall. This is, I think, somewhere between petty and gyuto, maybe leaning a little bit more to a gyuto. But like, it just sort of looking at the choil of this knife, it just sort of disappears into nothingness. It's quite incredible how thin that knife is. So depending on what you're doing with it, like if you've got a really narrow, slim, like this Munitoshi, which is white too, this narrow, thin knife is great if you're going around curves of stuff, using it around bones or, peeling round fruits and stuff. It makes it a little easier.
Yeah.
And you got that nice centered point, which is good for piercing into things. I find that's a little nicer than, say, that offset kind of a tip, like the Kiritsuki tip. If you do sort of use the tip in a circular motion, it has a tendency to spiral. And sometimes that spiral ends up right in the palm of your hand. And that is not comfortable from my personal experience.
So it really depends. Like if you're looking for petty, but a little bit more versatility, like.
Yeah, sometimes it's just super nice to have that knife you can just chop away with.
So
it,
this
right?
one here is Ginyo. Thin. Did you say the name? I can't remember.
Jinyo.
No, Ginyo. Ginyo. Ginsan stainless steel, easy to take care of. It's like pretty. Like look at how intricate that Damascus is, right?
Yeah, we've been showing this knife off a bit.
I know.
What else we got?
So that's like really nice thin hand forged petties. Right? Nugget, really good.
This guy?
Oh, sure. That's the.
This is a Yoshimi Kato. It's SG2 petty, 150 mils Damascus. It's that black chevron Damascus. These are very thin too. And more of that traditional petty shape where it's longer and slender. This is 150 mils. Nice sort of curve here. If you want to choke up on it, you can get your finger in behind the blade. It doesn't totally fit, but it's a little bit more comfortable than when it's too close. Because sometimes you want to like choke up on the blade so you have more control if you're gonna like finely shave garlic or something, or sliced cherry tomatoes. But it's beautiful. There's a nice cherry wood handle, or and sorry, cocobolo. What is this handle again? Rosewood?
Rosewood, yeah.
Rosewood with the red paca.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It's really nice. I like that 150 and that long thin knife. It's even great if you're trying to just carve a roasted chicken.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can still get a nice slice, but you can still get around the bones. Like,
Yeah.
it's great. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Do we have other real knife questions?
Somebody wanted to see a Kyohei Shindo Bunka.
Well, that's why it's sitting there.
Kyohei Shindo Bunka.
Great
I
price.
was on the fence about it,
What are we on the fence about?
buying this set.
Oh, thanks, Tips. Oh my goodness. That's why we say to people you should dislike and unsubscribe from our channel for obvious reasons. We are terrible. Kyohei Shindo. So this is from Tosa, right?
Yeah.
And we're talking about blue carbon steel, not stainless, no stainless cladding or anything, right? Pros and cons of this knife, what do you think?
Pros, really reasonably priced.
Yeah.
Handmade, hand forged, very nice thin edge.
Yeah.
Cons, people are looking for a little bit more like prettier, perfect type of knife. It may not be the knife for them because see that the little dimpling here and there, like if you look, I don't know if you can see them, but like dimpling is still left on the blade.
Yeah, we could call it rustic.
Yeah, rustic.
It's got a rustic look to it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have the same finesse as a knife that costs twice as much because, well, finesse takes time.
Yeah. We actually switched the handle pretty recently. It was like all plastic colors.
It's a nicer
so
handle.
it's nicer handle. So like
I think this is a great knife. And I mean, if you're going to just test the waters and see how much you like using a carbon steel knife, this is a great place to start.
Yeah.
If you just want a knife that looks great, to me it looks great. I think I love the look that you can see. It looks like you can see where the guy hit it with the hammer, right? Like it looks handmade. And it does have a rustic look. And maybe there's imperfections. There might be, if you go through this with your little jeweler's loop when you get it and find all those imperfections, you're right. You found them. But that is the nature of this knife.
So yeah, that's really, it may be a little bit like, it may be a little bit like more fragile than some other knife makers because he makes it really thin.
It's very thin.
And that is pro for people looking for thin, slice through the carrots without a problem, stuff like that. This is pro. Some people may be con.
Often I'd say to somebody with a knife like this, my question would be, is this your first Japanese knife? And if it is, maybe that's not the place to begin.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a person who likes to gently slice or you're generally very good with tools, and if we tell you not to hammer this into your cutting board, you won't, then that's fine too. Sometimes people are used to using dull, heavy knives, and they smack them on the cutting board, they scrape the edge across the board, and generally just beat the crap out of the edge of the knife. And if you're an old dog learning new tricks, maybe a knife that's super thin might not fit your needs. You might find that you're going to chip it really easily.
But yeah, overall, it's really well-made knife for such reasonably priced.
Yeah. Hey, can we talk about the Pigeon for a second?
Yes.
Because we got one here, and I think if anyone got a knife here in the last little while, you probably would have received a copy of this thing we call the Pigeon. And it's a fun little thing. It's a little zine. It's not a magazine. It's less than MAGA. It's just zine. And
we're taking the MAGA out of zines.
Yeah, right? Honestly, we have a really awesome and very creative staff, and we need an outlet. And so we've started to make this little thing, and it's a call out to every staff. We're putting this in boxes, I think a new edition quarterly. And it's just us waxing on about knives, food, cooking, random stuff. And it's a lot of fun. It's very basic, but we would love you to read it because we actually have some very talented writers. And it's a lot of fun. And it's about food because we're at the core of what we do here. It's just about food. So, the Pigeon, we're on episode, edition, version. What do you call this? Issue, thank you. Issue number 2. We only have 2 issues. Don't worry, in 6 months we'll have 3 issues.
And once it's gone, it's gone.
Collect them. Collect them all. They'll be like buying the first edition of Lucky Peach on eBay for $475 in no time. I swear it. It's an investment.
Yeah, I just want to make sure, in case Sky missed this, Jennifer was asking the price of that bokeh. I believe that is the Shindo that you
150.
Sorry, yeah, $150. Canadian bucks.
Yeah.
Which is like monopoly money.
Yeah, 13 American dollars.
Yeah, basically. Ooh. All right, Kevin Scott, do you need a microphone here, boss?
Yeah.
No, I want you to tell me why I shouldn't take these home.
Well, first of all,
was asking if Kevin
you think IKEA is stupid and you don't like their colors. And this one has a yellow and blue handle. I don't know, that's all I got for you. I mean,
I love the IKEA handle. It's so great.
if you don't like things that are cool and funky, which I know you don't, you do not, you like normal, boring, old lady stuff. Change is very, very scary. I know that you don't like change. So and you don't like fun at all. So these are fun and you are not. So don't get these.
Okay.
Welcome to the roast of Kevin Kent.
Quite seriously though, guys, I want to buy all of those.
Okay, do you
tell me
have a
why I shouldn't.
Hanasuki like this?
I don't.
Do you have a Hanasuki like this? Okay.
I don't have a Hanasuki like that.
Well,
I need you to tell
that's a
me-
good reason to
I
get
need
that
you to
one.
tell me why not to have these.
Because you
Those handles I think are brilliant. That Hanasuki is so strange. Anyway, these are the knives that I think that I just found in the back that I really, really want, Mike. And Naoto. So talk me out of
Yes.
some of them. I can't take them all.
I mean, I'm having a hard time.
This probably looks like
Maybe-
this looks like a Kevin's kitchen counter. So it probably
With
gets-
camouflage in there?
camouflage in
Yeah,
there.
you wouldn't be able to find it.
Yeah, yeah. That's probably
I think this Hanasuki is really dumb because it doesn't look like all the other Hanasukis in the world. and it's made by Nigara, so it has beautiful fit and finish. And who wants that? And I think, honestly, that is Hanasuki, which is designed for cutting apart chickens. I think that would be amazing as like a deba. Honestly, I think you could do all, because using a deba is difficult to learn because it's single bevel. That's not. It's a yo deba. You could do yo deba means like
the Western deba.
Western or double sided. Yo. You know, I also have a Nigara, and there's something about it. I thought it was going to be a little bit of a delicate knife, and I would reserve it for certain tasks. It's not.
It's a workhorse.
It's
yeah.
not.
It could be a.
It's
Really
a
nice
total workhorse. It's a total workhouse. Workhouse?
Workhorse? Yeah. Kevin wouldn't like this because it looks like a
Scared of
tropical.
frogs.
Yeah, yeah.
Scared of frogs.
Yeah. Tropical. You know,
What is the, could someone please tell me what a phobia of frogs is called?
Yeah.
Frogophobia.
Frogophobia.
Oh, frogophobia. If it's
Yeah.
not, that's what it should be.
Yeah.
Well, how much is this?
Mike, it's rhinidophobia.
What?
Rhinidophobia.
Rhinidophobia. See, it's out there. What is this?
That's a refurb knife.
This is a refurb,
Yeah.
and it's still here.
Yeah.
That's a 210?
Tojiro Atelier.
A Tojiro Atelier 210. For how much are we selling this for?
So 243. It's a 50% off.
This is 50% off.
Yeah. It's been. Yeah, we polished
Well,
it, we thinned it. And
You
stuff.
shouldn't buy this knife because you should pay full price for every knife that you get. Basically. Basically. I'm trying to tell you why not to buy it.
Yeah. Yeah, you shouldn't buy Kato either because I think he already has this knife.
I have with a different handle.
But this knife is very good looking,
Yeah.
right? And who's going to appreciate that? Would you appreciate a good looking knife?
I could try.
All right, well maybe you should have this one then.
Oh.
Maybe this one. Because this is so thin, it's like a laser beam. I think when you cut food, you actually don't cut it. I think the food just like gets out of the way. It sees the knife coming and then just like splits in half.
It just cuts
Is that
between the molecules.
It cuts between the molecules. Yeah,
it
that's what happens.
knife of
And then your
Moses?
kitchen explodes because you've split atoms.
No, you're going between them.
Oh, between the atoms. Right. Yeah, I mean, it could be an energy source if you're breaking bonds, I suppose.
So it's like
I like those knives. They're handsome. If you're going to be carving a roast that you've put a bunch of effort into in front of a table of people and you want to look good doing it, do it with a good-looking knife. I mean,
that was a Kato 270, right?
Yeah, Kato
yeah,
SG
that's a
too.
Yoshimi Kato SG2. And And Kato's yanagibas, or the Sujihikis, they're a little tall. And if you wanted a knife for watermelons, or for cutting steaks, or for even just dealing with a giant big root vegetable, this would double as your big old gyuto. And 270 is a big old knife.
Nice. That's so stand.
Tell me about this Deba. I saw this.
well-
It's from Tojiro. It's white carbon. That's all I got.
Well, Kevin found this one actually while he was in Japan.
Right.
Kevin, tell us about these single bevels.
Hey, can you hear me? They're getting into this new line of single bevels. They have a few samples. I bought as many as they allowed me to. I think they're a great value.
Absolutely.
They're super well made for the price. And I had suggested maybe if they polish the choil a bit and the spine, it would really make the knife feel and look tons better. So if I was to take one of those home, I would polish the choil for sure.
We should polish the choil and the spine.
We can do that before they go out.
Yeah.
Because do that, and all of a sudden that knife goes from being a great knife to an exceptional knife.
Yeah.
In my mind.
I think Tojiro makes exceptional knives all the time. And to see this as a very beautiful single bevel, I think would be an amazing addition.
Yeah, it's nice and thick. Oh, we have to come up with the reason that he doesn't want it.
Allergic to fish.
Yeah. It's great price point wise. It's great. The super nice thick spine, really well made single bevel, right? It's hand forged.
It's hand forged.
Yeah.
It's $230.
Yeah.
It has white number 2.
Yeah.
Which is the perfect seal for a single bevel.
Yeah.
It's big and fat, which is perfect for a Deba.
And I love the Kurochi and Sashimi finish.
Yeah.
Like that's just really unique.
I love that combo. Yeah.
And it's unique on a Deba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just think it's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got all of them that they would allow.
Yeah. So we have
And, but those are going to be a full-time product with them pretty soon.
Yeah. The
So- I already put an order in for.
I already have 3 knives I want to buy. Now I have 4. Thanks.
it's gonna be great. The great fish.
No, you should buy this one so I don't have to. That's why.
There's 2. We can have matching knives, Mike.
Oh.
It's cute.
I have one of these. It's fun. I use it a lot more than I think I should. It's a single bevel, but it's thin. This is why I'm so excited about that Yaoji single bevel gyuto.
Yeah.
I use this knife a lot.
This is great. Have you tried cutting the super thin medallion of the carrots?
Oh yeah.
Like,
That was about
so-
the first thing I did with it.
That's
Yeah.
like so fun
Yeah.
to do that. Like,
Julienning things.
Yeah,
I like to
yeah,
make
yeah.
spring rolls, and I
yeah.
julienne all the vegetables by hand, and then
Yeah.
roll them into the spring rolls with the rice noodles or the mung bean noodles.
I love the look of it as well as the functionality. It's
All right,
really
now
tight.
Thomas already has a Nikiri. Convince them why they need that one. The Suzuki.
Oh, do you have a
Uchi.
single bevel Nikiri?
Yeah, it's different.
No. Do you have a very thin single bevel Nikiri? No. Do you have a thin single bevel Nikiri with this Kamagata tip? No. Obviously you need it.
This is quite a bit different though, functionality wise as well. Like this is fantastic when you're like julienning, right?
You make that, like I love a super fine coleslaw.
Yeah.
It's basically coleslaw still, but it just like looks great on a plate.
Yeah.
It's really good for that presentation of vegetables to cut them very finely and very thinly.
You know the secret about this knife though is the last edge is actually touched up by Munetoshi-san before.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we bring on Nolan, we got a few questions to get to that we'll get to after Nolan. But real quickly now, that Deba you were talking about, the Kurochi Deba, how would you compare that to a Ginsan Deba?
Which Ginsan Deba?
I don't know, a Ginsan Deba.
He wants to compare the white versus Ginsan.
Oh, okay. So
For Deba.
for Deba, I personally like it's quite a bit different, right? Ginsan Debas are usually from the Sakai, forged by either Yamatsuka-san or the not Tanaka-san, the Nakagawa-san. Those two are only ones who forges the Ginsan. It like for sharpenability, like this is gonna be a little bit tougher, and it will sharpen it a little bit easier.
If you're gonna use a deba and you're gonna use it just for fish,
Yeah,
if you're worried about the rust, like don't.
yeah,
Just when you're cutting apart a fish, it's not like when you're in the middle of preparing dinner and you're doing those last steps. It's really a preparation stage that you're using the knife. And I find at that point, it's a lot easier to do the things you need to do to maintain carbon steel, which is wipe it dry.
yeah.
You know, when I finish using the knife, when I rinse it after I've washed it, I rinse it with really hot water so the steel heats up,
Yep.
and that helps any remaining water that my towel doesn't get to evaporate the steel.
Yeah.
And that's all I got to do. And white carbon steel is so nice to sharpen. You know, honestly, the Ginsan is really easy to sharpen too.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, speed bump.
If you really don't want a carbon steel deba, then a Ginsan deba would be the thing you would want.
Yeah.
It's not going to be $230.
Yeah, Ginsan is good. Then often the Ginsan deba are finished a little bit more, like refined a little bit more, right?
The craftsmen
spines.
capable of making them with that steel often are higher level, so they add higher touches.
Yeah,
and so
usually higher touches like a polished.
Yeah, I mean, I would think you would easily expect a $500
yeah,
sort of tag on a Ginsan.
right, something like this, right? So this is Ginsan deba.
Don't crash into the clacker wheel. There's nails in there.
So there's Ginsan deba, right?
Yeah, what's that? $475?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is
beautiful.
actually a really good deal though. Like it's regular price is $740.
Oh yeah.
So like if you
As
compare
far as like
these
I think
two-
the damageability, like if you're gonna run into a bone with it, white and Ginsan I think are gonna behave pretty similarly. They chip fairly easily. I think one of the real benefits of the white steel is just how refined of an edge you can put on it. It will blow you away how smooth the final edge will be.
Yeah.
And just how sharp it is. It's crazy.
All right, so on Monday, we had somebody asking different staff's opinions on knives. And one of those people was Nolan, because Nolan did a great video about a month ago where he showed off part of his 200 plus knife collection, a small part, but
just
a
a
great
little bit.
part. And yeah, I think a lot of people have really come to respect Nolan's opinion and passion for knives. So we wanted to get him on. He's going to show off his favorite stuff in the sale. Maybe Mike and Nato will ask him questions. There's a few more questions in chat. We will get to those after we chat with Nolan here. But if you do have questions for Nolan, he was a chef for a lot of years and has good opinions on knives. So feel free to ask him.
Do I look like Les Stroud?
Yeah.
You
I'm
kinda
trying to do my best impersonation of Les Stroud.
It's pretty good.
I think I need to like sniff the bark of a tree and be like, I can smell the sap flowing through the life of the tree. Oh, I'll have one of those. Yeah, thanks. I just wanted to pull this out. I love this Abbey. We just got a bunch in. This is you can find our axes and the pocket knives that we have. We've always had it. Our other store called Ken de Vinklewood. But in the last few months, we've added them to the website at Knifewear because the Knifewear stores in all the other cities are carrying the axes and the pocket knives and hunting knives and stuff. The Abbey Forest axe is a really awesome axe. It's a little bit lighter on a longer head. It's packable in a way. They've actually forged the butt end of the head, so if you want to hammer stuff, you can. If you hammer stuff on most axes, if that isn't hardened, you'll actually mushroom the eye of the axe. And Hultafors is a Swedish company that are forging axes out of real steel with an American hickory handle. Like it's everything an axe needs to be, and just a great version.
Give the microphone.
This is an awesome long axe, so lightweight but packs a big punch. It's a pound and a half head.
Right.
But yeah, the Hultafors Abbey or the ABY. I mean, once you kind of collect all the knives you can collect, I mean, what else are you going to do? Obviously, get axes and then chop wood. That was my commercial for Ken de Vinklewood. I guess I'm buying time now.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on, but Nolan's got his hand down his shirt.
We just had to switch mics because we had a mic issue. There's my mic.
Like Mike?
Mike.
Yeah,
Like Mike?
We had an issue with our Michael.
Come on, Mike.
But anyways, now we're good. So we're gonna hear Nolan's opinion on the garage sale knives.
My
Just
opinions.
Just what, you only have one opinion?
The garage sale's awesome, and I love it. As a customer, it was so awesome to like wake up super early, get online, and figure out what you wanted to buy. The scratch and dent was always my favorite like spot to go and try and find.
Easier. I don't know. Is there a mic that I can use?
Here, you can have this one. I'll go away. Because who wants to talk? Who wants to hear me talk?
So yeah, it was like, and we made it actually a lot easier since you start work. Like, how long have you been working with us for now?
A year and a half.
Year and a half.
Somewhere in there.
So before, it was totally surprised too, though. We didn't have this section on the preview section either.
No,
right?
no, there was no previews. It was just like, go in and just try and scroll as fast as possible.
Yeah.
I think one time I had 3 scratch and dents in my cart, and I was able to get one, and I was so happy. And it was like 2 minutes, they were gone.
Right.
They were gone.
Yeah.
So
yeah, so what did you find? What was these are your favorite?
these are my favorite. I also really like the Tajiro Flash utility knife, but we don't have any here at the warehouse right now.
The American utility?
Yeah. Really?
Well, I know it's sitting in.
I know there's a box of them sitting back there, but
I swore I saw one recently. All right.
Yeah, there's a box of them sitting in the back. We basically got everything that they had in the warehouse. So
I love that shape. It's super, super good.
So tell us
Stay sharp.
why you like these.
Why I like these?
Yeah.
Oh, you can see in the camera. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, this is a Hakata?
Hakata
Hakata.
is the shape of the knife.
I had never seen this shape before.
No?
No, you told me about it last year, and then I finally saw one in person, and I was like, wow.
Let's see.
Oh.
Show people what they want.
So, Hakata is this shape. Looks like a bunka, a very regional specific knife. And if you actually go to the place called Hakata in Kyushu, the famous place for the tonkotsu ramen.
Okay.
But there are only a few blacksmiths in that region making this shape.
Okay.
It's got a little bit of carved up the spine like this.
Yeah, and then it
Lip
just like
taller here, and yeah, it's really utilitarian.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's a utilitarian knife that does and these two knife makers, Hinora-san, Mutsumi-san, as well as the Tadahusa, they made the knife that it's exactly kind of looks the same shape, right?
I don't have one in my collection yet.
And
And I really like that shape.
see the one of whom who makes the Hakata, he doesn't call it Hakata, but it's the Miyazaki-san.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was the first one I saw.
Yeah.
I
Miyazaki-san.
really liked it.
His knives are, he calls it Hakata or Tsubaki Bocho, but he apprenticed under one of very few people who still making this Hakata shape in Hakata.
Okay.
In the Kyushu. Right? So it's still, it's great. It's so utilitarian. I love that shape as well. So carve is really good.
Like I just want to have it out
Both-
on my magnetic strip in my kitchen so people ask me about it.
Right.
Like people are like, whoa, that's really cool looking. And I'm like, let me tell you all about it.
Yeah.
Now that I know, because Naoto just told me.
It's
Nolan's just always trying to bait his house guests into a conversation about knives.
Or buying knives or talking about
Yeah.
knives.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So cool. So cool.
And I've wanted a knife from him. So
Oh yeah.
so
Makes sense.
if there's one left, Monday,
Right.
buy one.
Alrighty. So why did you do this? So this is Naoya Yamamoto Aogami Super Damascus Tsushime Petty 150 mil. I'm sure you have a few petties, right?
A
in
few.
your collection.
A couple.
Why did you choose this?
It's a beautiful petty.
Why?
Damascus, Tsuchime. I do like the S on it. I think it's unique.
Yeah. Super blue.
Yeah. It's a good size. I'd probably use it for cutting meat.
I'll tell you why I want this too. This is so well made knife out of the Echizen, that region that's like, a lot of Masakages are from.
Okay.
He Nao Yamamoto-san, he learned all this. He actually worked for several really famous blacksmiths, including Azai-san. He passed away like not 10 years ago, but he passed away.
Yeah, I read about
His
him.
R2 knives are absolutely fantastic, right? And now Yamamoto-san is the only blacksmith who is allowed to use Azai-san's blacksmith name, which is Echizen Marukatsu. So he has his own line of knives. With this one here, it's got a Yamamoto Saku on him. So it's made by Yamamoto-san, and he puts his name on here. But he also has a line of knives like R2 and VG10 that he puts the Marukatsu. So that's the line that's to pass it down by the Azai-san. Also, he worked for the Kamo-san, and he worked for several other blacksmiths in that region. He's one of those people who always strives to become better when it comes to the like knife making. Not only, he always changes and improves his skill. So look at this guy here. I probably talked about this one at Livestream, first one, but this taper is so even, but it's subtle, nice, even taper from where where the handle is and tapers it down. Yet, so this is 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional.
Yeah.
Yet the line, the shinogi, is so nice and crisp.
It's gorgeous.
Not so much exposure along the edge on neither side.
Yeah.
This is super well crafted kitchen knife.
Yeah, it's
And
beautiful.
he needs, the craftsman has to have a vision of what he wants that knife to look like. When he starts forging it, he has to forge it in a way so that it looks like this. So
It's pre-thinking everything.
yes,
That's crazy.
the way it starts to look more like a Niigata blade, right? Like, yeah, and I like it. And so, what's this? Super weird
Yeah.
looking knife.
Well, because it's like the small version of the Talbunka,
Yeah.
which I was just like holding both of them, and I was like, "Whoa, these are crazy." Let me find it. Where is it? Where is
So-
it? Oh, it's right here.
So this is the Sakai Takayuki. Did I name it as the Coreless Damascus?
Coreless Damascus
Coreless
on the website.
Damascus.
Yeah. This is one of my favorites of the sale too.
The small,
unique.
Tall Kobunka. I can't remember how we named it, but this is so unique. It's really nice and small. Blade length is not even like 150 millimeters, like 130 mil.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Super nice, small utilitarian knife that does the cutting a garlic, shallots, any of those stuff comes super handy. Coreless Damascus is made with the VG2 and VG10 stainless steel. Theoretically speaking, the VG2 will wear out faster than VG10, so the edge will get so-called infinite serration. There's always it wears different rates, so that
just
there's
kinda-
always teeth.
Okay.
But yeah, it's super
love the shape.
stunner.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love the
The Coreless Damascus was a new thing for me to learn about. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was really cool that it's like...
it comes with the bigger
Yeah,
size.
so I was like, you can get both.
Sorry, we did that in the live stream. Here.
All right, Nolan. Chromatic says, "Hi, Nolan.
Hello.
Can you stand a little to your left, please? Thank you.
Right
Perfect. Now we
In
can
front of
see
the wheel?
well, I wanted to see your beautiful face.
Okay.
Hoffy was asking, what is Nolan's favorite knife steel?
Knife steel?
Yeah.
That's a really good question. I don't even know if Nolan knows that.
What is there a knife that you use the most? And what's that steel? Or do you find yourself, like, I find myself buying
Carbon
a lot
steel.
of super blue knives.
For me, it's carbon steel is like
Yeah.
my favorite steel as a whole, but actual steel, like, what's the Mabaroshi made out of?
White carbon number 1, Alto?
Which one?
Mabaroshi, white carbon number 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably that one.
Pretty great.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people's favorite steel for a good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used that for many, many years when I cooked.
Well, if you got more questions for Nolan, pop them in the comments. Naoto iPark was just asking, quick one, when will the Tojiro Basics be available?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
All right.
They're on my schedule.
I got one from Ryan Chang. This is a good question for both of you. If you had to limit your collection to only 3 knives, what would they be?
3 knives?
3 knives only, that's stupid.
But if you had to.
If I had to?
If there was a gun to your
If you
head.
were going to another country and had to give away all your knives, you can only keep 3 of them, and you give all your knives to people who worked at a knife shop to give them for free.
There's a lot of countries
Okay.
with strict 3 knife laws.
For 3
Okay.
knife laws.
Yeah.
Oh, you go first.
Okay.
I reject your reality.
Fake news.
I think I have better, like, because my collection is much smaller than yours, so
Yeah.
I go first.
Yeah.
So, Masashi Kuroshu 210. Did someone? Oh.
Nope.
Oh,
Kevin
okay,
just
that
hit the
was
wall.
Kevin. Okay.
all
Masashi
good.
Kuroshu 210 and Masashi Kuroshu Sujihiki. Then you know what? The last one is the Tamahagane Teddy 130.
Oh, nice.
You know, it comes.
Honestly, I'm surprised you didn't say
'cause it-
Hato.
You know what? You know, when it comes to that, 3 knives. If I were to bring it to Deserted Island, which he didn't mention,
Yeah, yeah.
but the little less maintenance knives, right? Like I thought of a very practical way. That's stainless steel, but still looks cool. It cuts fantastic, and some Tamagane knives take speed.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yes,
Is it 3 knives and I'm like doing everything?
I assume so. I
Okay.
mean, well, are you just gonna not cut some things if you?
Well, that's just
I think that's implied. Is that it has to be 3 knives to rule them all. Like the
Okay.
3 kitchen knives for the rest of your life.
Fujiwara,
I thought you
Mabaroshi,
were gonna sell it.
210. gyuto. The Tojiro, I think
thought
it's
you
the
were gonna sell it.
F828
Business, it's a knife sharpener.
bread knife, and then the Kun paring knife.
Sweet.
Yeah,
That's an unconventional answer. I like
it is,
But I mean, you relied on your Kun paring knife and your Tojiro bread knife a lot.
yeah. So that way I can do like everything.
Yeah, that's fair. If y'all haven't watched Nolan's knife collection video, it's pretty awesome. He's got a ridiculous collection.
But if it wasn't the Kun paring knife, it'd be the silver thorn boning knife.
Yep. Which you could use like a paring knife if you really had
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm just like not as afraid to beat up the Kun.
to. Yeah.
That's a good question though. I've always
Yeah.
thought about that. I'm like, what would be like my be all end all kit?
Yeah.
Like 3 or 4 knives. That's it.
There's the sharpener
3
called
240.
Kent.
3 240 Utos.
There's the sharpener called Kent. Maybe
Can
Kevin.
you say that louder for the people in the back, Kevin?
My 3 knife set would be 3 240 Utos.
Why not? Why not?
I can do everything with it.
Absolutely.
The same, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I would have 3 different ones. Right from real thin to real fat.
Kent.
This is my boning gyuto. This is my bread gyuto.
Yeah.
This is my multi-purpose gyuto.
Wow.
Oh, hold up. What's that?
That's a pull-through knife sharpener called Kent.
Oh.
So I'm clearly
Flip
I'm
it
going
around.
to be,
Flip it around and bring it down a bit, Naoto.
I'm going to be out of work, out of business.
No, spin it so we can actually see it right side up.
Bryce? Oh, that's this way.
there you go.
Kent.
Yeah, it's see if you look in the end here, it's the mini Kent sharpener.
Oh.
So basically, I'm out of business.
Is there a
'Cause
big
now
Kent
that
sharpener?
Can be, well, I'm the big Kent
Oh,
sharpener.
okay. Okay.
Right.
You know, Kent.
Mini Kent sharpener.
Kent?
Have you met him? Kent.
Yeah.
All right, Naoto, you may or may not have an answer to this one. The Silver Sphincter was asking what knife makes really good or what knife maker makes really good left-handed knives.
Oh. what knife maker makes a really good left-handed knives?
A left-handed knife maker.
There aren't that many. Any Sakai knife makers who makes the single bevel knives, they can make the left-handed blade. For budget-wise, the Kitaoka makes it really good.
Yep.
Like really reasonably priced single bevel knives coming out from the Kitaoka's workshop. It's amazing how actually reasonable they are, and we actually have some in stock, and they're actually same price as the right-handed blades. So if you're looking for something like that, that's great.
Oh no.
It's worth noting that almost every knife we sell is ambidextrous.
Yeah.
And it's really only the single bevels that are right or left-handed.
I don't know. This was this. Food put the daikon on the thing, and there was a.
So you can test out the kit sharpener.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
All right. There's a daikon on the table. We had a question for.
Is that your daikon on the table?
No, I'm just happy to see you, Mike. We have a question, which is a good one for both of you guys, from Jesse Casper Brown. Said, hey, I need a tough knife for when I work on the line. I'm new to Japanese knives, but I have a Fujiwara Kanafusa Chef Gyuto.
Yep.
210,
Yep.
but want something else. Any ideas? Love the live. Thank you. Jesse, let us know if you have, if you want a knife that's similar size, like 210 or something else. But in the meantime, if you were to just pick a tough knife for working on the line, what would you? Probably not too big, because lines are not.
No,
they're
you get
kinda
small
cramped
cutting boards
spaces.
usually. So 210.
Nolan, what kind of size would you go for? What kind of size would you go for working on the line?
180 to 210. 200 would be my favorite, but it's hard to find a 200 mil knife. So 180.
Well, you just get a 210.
Oh yeah, the old 210 trick.
You get a 210. You knock it off the cutting board onto the floor.
Or you
and then
smash
you
it
get
into
the
chalk.
tip fixed, and then you got a 200.
Perfect.
So something that's really.
Never thought of that.
So the Fujiwara Kanafusa gyuto it looks like almost like a regular, the Sakai Takayuki SK4 type of blade. It's very simple Japanese blade. And Kanafusa has several different lines, so correct me if I'm wrong, but they have the carbon steel version and the molybdenum vanadium version, which is actually really great workhorse. If you're looking to get something robust and that's a really great workhorse, is any of the Tsunehisas are fantastic, and they're 20% off. So if you're looking at say any Tsunehisas 210 blade or 240 gyuto, those are gonna be a great workhorse in your professional kitchen.
Definitely.
Yeah. And some of them will look actually pretty cool too. And cool looking knives are great.
They are.
Yeah. So I would probably gonna.
That's why I picked most of these.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna go for something like those. And most Tsunehisas are either stainless clad or all stainless steel, so it's pretty easy to take care of.
Cool.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
I would
Do you
agree,
have do you
especially
have
with the
something
stainless steel.
else? Yeah. Do you have something else to?
Off the top of my head, I can't think of it.
If you walk back to that table behind you,
Yeah.
pick one or two
Okay.
workhorse knives.
Yeah.
We're coming up to the end of our live stream today, folks. If you have questions, we got a few more minutes. Pop them in the chat.
Are we gonna have Francis?
Francis isn't going to make it. I forgot to tell you, but he's it's real busy in Knifewear Toronto.
Well,
so
no.
we
You mean the Francis from Vancouver?
I've been doing this all day. I keep mixing up Toronto and Vancouver, which are clearly different cities.
Both are busy.
Both are busy.
Both cities are busy.
But Vancouver's especially busy.
Okay. Good.
So yeah, anyways, Francis won't make it today,
Ah.
but we love him anyways. But yeah, thanks for everybody that's been tuning into our live streams all week long. We really appreciate you. Some of you asked for a compilation of the ads that we've been running, so that'll be up on the YouTube channel tomorrow. On next week on Monday, we've got a video about our elk butchering session at Terroir. We butchered an elk with three butchers, two from Edmonton and one from the Netherlands, and turned it into a bunch of food. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool video. It's going to come out on Monday. And then, yeah, we got some other great stuff planned for the last couple months of the year. So stay tuned. Yeah, we also got a sale coming up for the holidays starting around Black Friday. So if you didn't find the knife you were looking for during the garage sale, or you don't want to start your Christmas shopping quite yet, there's going to be lots of good stuff available around Black Friday.
I think that we have the one terroir video up already on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And for those people who do not know about terroir, it's a food symposium happened here in Canada, like been happening like quite some time now. Like, but they've been
I don't know how long, but a lot of years.
They've been happening in Calgary at least last 4 years or something.
Yeah, they've been involving it every year.
And it's great. The chefs all over the world come together and do the talks. They give talks. They do some demos.
Yeah, they do a lot of really cool workshops. Like there was a workshop on eating offal. There was like chocolate workshops and bread workshops and cocktail competition.
And it was great networking, meeting some of the best chefs in the world.
Met a lot of cool people. Yeah. It's a pretty great video. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So if you need something to watch after this to kill 20 minutes with, it's a pretty great video.
Yeah. Anyways.
All right, Nolan. While we see if there's any more questions, let's see your Workhorse knife.
My Workhorse knife?
Yeah.
I have to go get off the shelf.
Oh.
I'll be back.
What were you doing the past 5 minutes?
I know.
Naoto.
Yes.
I got some questions for you here that I missed. They didn't come through here for some reason. Okay. Oh, there's a bunch of questions that I missed. For some reason, they're not coming through on OBS. One sec. John May said 3 Tinker Tanks for, if you're going to have 3 knives. Silver Sphincter said, my next knives will be Hanasuki Maru and Silverthorn boning knife. Great
Very
choice.
good choices.
Yeah.
Very good choices.
Big fan of both of those.
I love both of those.
Yeah. I don't know why these aren't coming through. Anyways. All right, what do you have there for us, Nolan?
This is
so
good,
thin.
The rest of these?
So thin.
It's great. So Nolan's got the Tsunehisa, which I mentioned all the Tsunehisas, but the ZA18 Ju-Shichi, so 17 Ju-Shichi. ZA18, you can type ZA18. That's a type of steel very similar to the VG10. Why did you choose this? Looks like it's pretty thin.
It is thin.
It is thin. That's why.
Yeah, that's why I chose it.
Although
because Nolan's a professional. Because Nolan's a professional, and to him, a Workhorse is a thin blade.
You know what?
Not necessarily all the time, but I'm thinking Workhorse. I'm thinking like tons of onions and like making tons of mirepoix. And I want something that's like
Well, and if
nice
you're
and
not
thin
like
right here.
scraping your knife really hard or letting somebody else use it, then a thin knife's fine for a Workhorse.
This though is actually really thin spine, super light, but it's not like thin. So it could be actually really good the Workhorse.
Yeah.
It's actually will be really good Workhorse. Super light, hey?
Really light.
And balances so well. Like
it's really nice looking as well, which is
like balances right.
It's not a bad thing.
No, you won't. You after 6 hours or whatever, 7 hours of the shift, you don't want to get fatigued.
Yeah, you don't want a sore wrist.
Yeah. No.
Also, the box is like a pool table on the inside.
That's great. Great choice.
I got that, Nolan. Thanks. I do love the pool table finish for the
Every
box.
time I pick one of these and check it, I'm like, oh, it's like a pool table.
For me, this is a mahjong table.
Oh. Ellie was saying mini putt. Mini putt.
Mini putt?
Yeah.
Naoto, can you, just wondering when you expect a restock of the Suzuki Uchihamono Konakiri?
It's hard to say.
Last time we thought they were going to come in, it took 8 months. So.
Yeah, we tried to get them like every 6 months. But,
Yeah, sometime in the next year, probably.
How he produces and, Yeah.
All right.
It's not that we don't order.
Yeah, they're on order. It's just like...
It's constantly
who
on
knows?
order.
Yeah. Robot Rilla was asking, can you show a Moritaka Aogami Super Kurochi Kiritsuke 210mm?
Yeah. 210. 240.
Nolan, you're a fan of Moritaka knives, right?
Huge fan. I own one AS, I think.
Yeah. And
I
how
have to
many
think about it.
Ishimes?
Okay.
Nolan's counting on his hands, just in case you were wondering.
I think 6.
6 Ishimes, yeah.
Yeah, so
2 Hanasukis.
2 Hanasukis. I got the craft knife.
Nice.
I've got the Mega Nikiri, thanks to you, because you told me all about it, and I had to buy one.
Awesome. I'm glad.
I got the Kamagata,
Find
the original 240. I think that's it.
Couldn't find the one on the table, so I just.
Yeah.
So this is Moritaka Aogami Super Kurochi Kiritsuke. You know what? This Kurochi knife, and I don't know if they've changed the way they forge, feels and is thinner. And not only the feels, but it is thinner than their Ishime line.
Yeah.
Like the bevel is slightly taller too, though. Eh?
Yeah, I have noticed that.
Yeah. You know what that means? It glides better. I don't know if because we had a very good time with Moritaka-san when one of the Moritakas visited us, right? Like one of the Moritaka-san came to visit us. No, not here. Sorry.
Toronto?
Yeah, Toronto.
Yeah,
Toronto,
it was like the one day.
And Vancouver.
Yeah.
And we had a really, really good chat. Like, we had a really great chat about how the knives are made, and he was really impressed by the he doesn't get to see the knives from other makers are making, right?
Yeah.
So he gets to see all the like
in the
lot
store,
of in
everything.
the store, yeah, everything, right? I don't know if he's got inspired by the other knives, but it looks like it's got a little taller bevel on this one.
And they are
It's
noticeably
thinner. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great though. Like it's gonna glide really nicely.
I'm shocked that we still have them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still have a handful.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. All right, there you go, Robot. Chromatic was saying Tsunahizas are great value, very sharp out of the box too. The Silver Sphincter said, I've got my Yu Kurosaki kitchen set for work. Now I'm going to make a butcher's knife bag and a single bevel bag. Making knife bags, apparently.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cody C was asking, can you tell me more about the Camo Damascus Petty, please?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to just slide that down to the dumping ground. So Camo Damascus. Camo sense. It's very interesting, hey?
It is.
How that looks. It is really something that popped.
Yeah.
Kamo-san primarily makes actually the lettuce harvesting knives.
Really?
And yeah.
Like the Moritaka one?
Yeah.
That
look
that
like
same shape?
Yeah, same shape. But he makes the. This is actually really good. Ellie has actually, I think the petty from the Camo, nice and thin.
Yeah.
Forged blade, and it's like hybrid handle, right? So
it's a very long handle, like from the choil to like, it's very long. I like
this
it.
Is though, it's a little bit more like this particular size, like 120 mil.
Yeah.
Is it 120? It doesn't look like 120 mil, but this is great to do the cutting on the cutting board. It's almost like a small gyuto. That petty.
Oh, I would just.
Yeah.
For me, it's like that.
Nice and thin too.
Ah, there we go. Yeah, I would just be choking up like that in my
Pigeon.
hand.
Nice clean polished look. It's very interesting. The handle is very interesting for sure. Even that the handle is a little bit long, especially when you're trying to do this portion. It does have a bit of a counterbalance, I guess.
Yeah.
But for some, it may not be the best, most comfortable knife.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but it's great. It's thin, well made.
I think they're just.
Love the handle.
Very unique and beautiful.
Yeah. Yes. But it's actually really mad. It's like nice and thin. It is a little bit long. Yes. Alrighty. Kamo, Damascus.
Lobster stone.
Done.
Alps.
Alps Santoku can opener.
Yeah.
You know Santoku means?
3 virtues.
Yeah, and good for 3 things. So I don't know if have you ever used this type of can opener?
Yeah.
To open a can?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It takes a while, but
Yeah.
if it's all you got, it works really well.
Yeah. This the
Because a paring knife is
this
not
the
great.
must-haves for all the people. You know, like they should just have this one in a car
Oh,
and a camping kit.
like
Yeah.
with how much it is,
Can opener.
I want to buy a whole box. And everybody's getting one in their
corkscrew.
stocking.
Yeah. Yeah. The
I have one in my camping kit now.
these two
and-
are actually door crushers deals, like half price.
Yeah, no, these are my 2 top for
Isn't
garage
that-
sale.
isn't that $7?
$3.50?
$3.50.
Yeah.
Everyone should just like add it to the cart.
Yeah. I honestly, Monday morning, I thought we were going to have like 200 of these. And I thought we were going to have like 500 of these. Like,
Yeah.
because I would have bought 5 of these.
Because you know it's really good, and again, we mentioned it earlier. If someone's trying to do the project in thinning knives, this stone is going to be really,
Yeah.
really good.
And you can't beat that price.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And this, like,
Yeah.
I want to buy a case. 12.
All right, we got some more. Hoffy was asking, did Naruto already do some top picks? We did at the top of the show, but real quick, you got like 1 or 2 favorites? You want to show off?
Oh. What did I do? I was going to actually talk about these because I love the Myojin-san's knives. And so Myojin-san, he's one of the best sharpeners in Japan right now. This is his line of sharpeners line. So the engraving is it says Naohito Saku, now made by Naohito. That's his first name, and the kanji is actually the same as mine. So I can sell it as like, oh, I made it, or it's engraved for me. Anyways,
That's perfect.
Kobo Special. It's it's one of those like really nice, super high corrosion resistant stainless steel that is sharpened to the like perfection almost.
It's just,
He's got his R2 line, and this is kind of he considers himself as a entry level kind of line for his sharpening.
okay.
So like it's still $460.
Yeah,
but
but-
his R2 was like 6 to something, a little bit more.
Okay, so there's quite a step up from.
Yeah. It's the way he thin and finish. He just does
It's just smooth looking.
yeah. He de-beveled it.
Yeah.
Oh, he beveled it. No, he doesn't want to You don't want to de-bevel. He bevels it really nice.
choil-
bevels it
the
on
choil looks really nice and
super,
smooth.
super thin. It glides really late. This like we had some like Nakagawa and Myojin. This also is like such a beauty piece, right? I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
So perfect. Like he just takes it the extra step to make it just perfect. So like any ones made by those guys, like Myojin-san, we have some Tetsujin that's like definitely the favorites. Some of the knives that we didn't get to talk about too
Nigara
much.
VG10 Damascus. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. This Nihei-san's Hatsukokoro Shinkiro is pretty good too. I've probably spoken about this like a few times in the past garage sales, but AS Agami Super with the beautiful Damascus, like it's so subtle, but it's so nice. Sharpening job is done really, really good. Nice, beautiful, good-looking kurochi. It's got really nice Sanjo style kind of taper.
It tapers out.
Yeah. Nihei-san does actually a really good sharpening job. I couldn't remember if I were supposed to say it's a Nihei-san, but I know it's a Nihei-san.
Yeah.
That quarter of a beer is really going to your head. Huh?
Nihei-san is the a guy who it's the same blacksmith who makes the Konosuke Medai.
What's that?
Oh, Konosuke-san, they deal with some different blacksmiths
Okay.
from other places, and yeah, it's the same blacksmith.
Okay.
Jesse missed our answer for the question that I have to go back and see what it was. But yeah, we do. Somebody had mentioned PH808 had said we leave the live stream up after we're done being live, and that's true. So you can go back. But for a tough knife working on the line, I know that was the Workhorse. You had mentioned the Tsunehisa ZA18.
any of
Not
the
the
Tsunehisas.
toughest, but definitely a good
Any of the
option.
Tsunehisas are great.
Yeah, and Naoto had some good suggestions too, so
Yeah.
definitely worth going back for. Here's one of my favorite kinds of questions. Jeremy Sharon was asking, I currently have a Santoku and Nakiri, and I'm looking to add to my collection. Should I get a petty or gyuto? It's a good question, Jeremy. Let us know if there's a kind of food or a size of meal you tend to cook. Like, do you do a lot of cooking or just a little bit? I would say petty, because I slept on a petty for 10 years.
I also
That long to get a
I
petty.
did that too. Like I hadn't got my petty for a very long time, and now I mean both. Like the ultimate answer is both, and you can go either. Either petty first or gyuto first.
Yeah.
I think both are pretty good essential knife, but the petty, I actually use my 130 Tamagane petty quite a bit. Like it comes super handy, peeling or even just small, salad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's any small things on the
Yeah,
cutting board that you don't want to.
It's shocking how much you can get done with a Nakiri or Santoku. So you really you need a gyuto, but you don't need one right away if you already have a
Well, then I feel like it's
mid-sized
going to be
knife.
overshadowed. Like if you get the gyuto.
Something like this is great, super thin. This is the Yoshimi Kato Minamo SG2 Minamo Petty 120. It's beautiful. It's super thin and thin. Sharpen is very thin as well. So segmenting oranges, coring anything.
I like using a small knife when I'm cooking a small or quick meal.
Same.
Like if I'm working from home and I just want to make a salad for lunch or
Yeah.
a sandwich, or I'm throwing together breakfast, just cutting up a few potatoes.
And it's still 120 petty is still good size. You can actually do a little bit of chopping action as well.
Yeah,
What-
I used
what do
my
you-
petty as butchery for
Yeah.
7 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What else do you find yourself using a petty for, Nolan?
Like Naoto said, if we're just making a quick salad or when we just chopping up a few little things, instead of getting a bigger knife out of the block, we'll just pull a petty off.
Right on. Okay.
Or any meat.
We had a few more. Mathagene asked, any idea when the Andrew Himono Kurochi Tsuchime Wagyu To 210 will be restocked?
That was a lot.
Is that a
210.
Aogami or the Ao Super?
Agami Super Stainless.
Can we have one?
Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah.
All right. Well, right now, apparently. I wonder if maybe
Double check.
it's sold out. Let me check the
It is
old website.
really
here.
well made though. This batch of Anryu-san or the Anryu Hamono, the Ikeda-san, the way he forges, it's amazing. He's up in skills a lot in recent years. And part of the reason why is that I've been, talking, we did an interview with the Shibata-san, but we both agreed that his way of forging and sharpening and everything has become so much better in the last couple of years. And I pointed out that due to probably because he's doing a lot of projects like Tank,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And how he
Learning so much
have
more.
to forge very specific way in order for the tank to be tank.
Yeah.
It's not, I like the word, the saying that, Nathan said about tank is often imitated. Like you see a lot of knives that looks like a tank, including, one of those tall bunkas, but it's never really duplicated in terms of how it's forged and how it's been sharpened, right? So it's true work of art, and Ikeda-san's been implementing it in his work because it's so much thicker here now. It's balanced. It's better than ever.
Yeah. They're something else, all right.
Yeah, it's imbalance point on the. When you're looking at the balance, this is how what I learned about the knives. So you see the balance from this side, but there's also another balance point, like the vertical.
Wow.
So this is the true balancing point. It's actually a really good balance point because that's where you put your
Yeah.
like
That's where you're pinch gripping up there.
yeah.
You're trying to choke up
So
on it as much
it's not
as
like
you can.
here, but yeah, it's like
Yeah.
the point. See right here. Sorry. Like right here. That's that balance point.
Okay, Mathagene, are you listening still? Because that knife was sold out on the website,
Oh.
so I'm going to fix that.
Oh, but can I? So we have to double check how it's sold.
Yeah.
It may not be just being picked or something.
I don't see any pending orders for it.
Oh.
There's no unfulfilled orders.
We'll double check and come back to it because
Yeah.
Mathagene, shoot me an
Yeah.
email to hello@knifewear.com
because
if you want to grab that knife.
There
Because
was something with these.
that knife,
Yeah.
as far as I can tell, is not accounted for. And you can probably buy it. But yeah, shoot us an email and we'll figure it out tomorrow.
yeah, we'll figure out because the I saw one.
Yeah.
So as best I can tell.
We'll talk after.
It
Yeah.
could be yours. Okay.
And yeah, if there's one lucky day for you,
All right. So PH808 was asking. This is the question we get the most. I love it. What knives are the Knifewear employees going to be buying from the garage sale? It's.
you have those.
I'm pretty broke right now.
This one.
Just bought a splitting
That one.
Oh, hold up. There we go. You're getting that.
Yeah. If there's left.
Oh, show us the on the overhead camera there.
Oh, here?
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Ah, in focus. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the Mutsumi Hinora Ajikatiya Hakata, right?
Yeah. I love it. I want one. The shape. It's beautiful.
There are a lot of knives that because there are so many knives, sometimes you don't get to talk about them as often. Kikuzuki Rin is crazy good. Price, it's good, but so like this one here, forged by Yoshikazu Tanaka-san. So we have quite a few knives that's forged by him, right?
Yeah.
And out of all the, this is probably one of the best forged and sharpened blade that Yoshikazu Tanaka-san made. It is Kikumori. We have some like Asagiri and the other ones that's also forged by the same blacksmith. But the way this been sharpened, it's so nice. It's like super nice, crisp shinogi right here. Super thin behind the edge. It will glide through food like nothing. And also it's. I like the Hado's like really aggressive.
Same.
The thing as well, but this is like really clean.
Yeah.
Like look, it's called Kikuzuki Rin, and Rin means the nashi or it's because it's nashiji.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Look at how clean. I don't know how they do that. It's actually really new. It's really cool. I was like in the back touching those. Kikumori is like Rin, Asagiri. We have the other one with Yugiri, and like a few others, right? And I'm like, you know what? The Rin series is like they've done such great job, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, so we have got just a couple more.
Super clean.
We're almost done for the day, folks. So if you have any last-minute questions, get them in the chat there. John May had a question for people who use a lot of knives. Doi-san only ever works with blue number 2, but his lines, the Genbu, Gurin, Kangata, etc., vary wildly in price. Are they very different in use, in your opinions, or are there other reasons?
What's that?
Doi-san's knives, same steel, different price points.
Yeah.
Big difference. Why?
Different finishes.
That makes sense.
Yeah, different finishes. Say for example, So Doi-san's, so basically the blade itself, maybe when it comes out from the workshop, the Doi's workshop, may be similar, right? Different hammering may be different, but from there, then the sharpener's job to do the finishes on, right? So there's the kengata. So when it comes to the double bevel, kengata with the really tall bevel, making that the shinogi that line that crisp, and to do that is really a lot more work than say kogetsu line, which is just a really the hamaguri grind, right? So that is a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
And therefore, making big hamaguri on the guren line, they made it a little bit less expensive. So it's just really amount of work that puts on after it left the. And also type of handles too. You know,
yeah, that makes sense.
Ebony with the water buffalo horn is a little bit more expensive than just the burnt oak. So that's really how they how it goes. If that makes sense.
I think so. Yeah.
I want one.
But sorry, here we go.
Cool.
PH808 was asking, would you ever or have you bought the same quote unquote knives years apart because of the changing in the forging or other techniques?
Not exactly the same, but I did.
I also have.
I have Hado 210 and 240. Yeah, so so 240, like I initially got 240 right after we discussed, and we should probably make this Kurochi with that. And I think I got one of the first batches. And after I been communicating with them saying, how about doing this like wing-looking flare sharpening, this more 3D dimensional sharpening? And once they send us this batch of knives with this like super crazy flare, I'm like, Maruyama-san, and I bought it. Yes, I have. And some Masashi knives too. He changes the way he forges and does the differently. So, and Doi-san, like look at Doi-san's knives. One of the first batches, especially the double bevel knives that he had out from Sakai Takayuki, was quite thick. Doi was really great. Like how the Matsuka-san sharpened it was great. But look at the very recent the Guren or the those knives, like double bevel from the Doi-san.
Yeah.
So thin.
Very thin now.
Even the Yamatsuka-san, not complaining, but he was saying it's so much more challenging.
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
Like.
So yes.
I have two Moritakas that I bought 3 years apart, but I only bought them 3 years apart because 3 years later I realized I wanted another one.
Did you see that new grind or how thin they are now? Yeah.
I was looking at them.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't do as much butchery as I used to though. So.
I'm not saying the Honosuke, the gyuto.
I know.
Yeah. So that's our answers. How about you, Nathan?
What do you got?
Yeah, I've been thinking about this. I mean, if I had jumped on the Masashi train earlier, for sure. But I don't know that I would buy the same knife from him again because I've got a Koko and Kobunka that I really like. But I do want to get more knives from Masashi, and he's up there as one of my favorite blacksmiths. So later in his career, I want to get more.
Right.
Same probably goes for Hado. Like I would definitely buy a Hado knife again. Moritaka, I'm a huge fan of, but I don't know how much they're going to change. Like they're very consistent.
Yeah.
Which is, something to love about them, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like it can change probably. Maybe,
yeah.
Right?
If they started changing things up, I would probably buy another.
Because right now the Moritaka, Takuzo-san, who is the head of the Moritaka workshop, he decides what finish or how much the bevel is.
Oh,
and
I
stuff.
see. So when his son takes over,
exactly,
I guess.
Right?
Right.
Then there'll be some changes, possibly.
Possibly.
Yeah.
He was pretty open ideas and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, both my Honosukis, they just have like a little bit of a different shape. But they're still performance-wise the exact same.
Cool.
Alrighty.
Okay, last one.
Yes.
John May. Can't ignore a question from John May. Said, following up on my Doi question for Naoto, if there is time, Is there a reason Knifewear has on and off carried all his lines except the Hien? Is it just like not our favorite, or?
It's just the. I think it's just we could carry them. It's not that we. Hien is the Kirisuke, Kirisuke one from the Doi-san.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
It's just a shape.
Oh, okay.
It's just a. So we have Genbu,
Yeah.
which is the Sakimaru,
Yep.
and it's just a really technical thing because we did have Hien Gata is this I think we have one from Doi. Doi single. Yeah, this is Hien Gata. So they call it Hien Gata, which is the yeah, it says Hien. So this one's Hien shape.
Yeah.
Can you bring that tip into the middle a little more?
Yeah.
There we go.
So
Yeah,
this is
thank
a
you.
Hien shape. It's not that we didn't want to bring one, but it's just the spot. The Genbu is the Sakimaru, Hien is this, and we did have the Swedish Honyaki from Sakai Takayuki that is this Kirisuke tip. So that's why we have one from this shape, and we have the other one from the Genbu. That is that is the only reason why we hadn't brought the Hien from the Doi-san. If that makes sense, it just
Yeah.
similar shape, right? So
Yeah. No hate. We just sometimes we just don't
it's just
get
like
stuff.
I guess like strategic kind of choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
everything.
thank you
Look,
so
this is
much, everybody that tuned in. Both the folks that have been tuning in for years, and the new viewers who just tuned in for the first time. If you aren't subscribed to the Knifewear YouTube channel, we would love if you enjoyed our videos to drop a subscribe. We have new videos every Monday. We've got one coming out Monday that's not very knife centric, but pretty interesting, about elk butchery at Terroir. We do have a lot more knife related stuff coming out later in November and December, and we got a lot of good stuff planned for the new year. We probably won't have any more live streams for the year, but we will get back to the Naoto's Nerdy Power Hour and other more in-depth stuff in January. So again, thank you so much, everybody that tuned in. Thank you for Nolan for jumping on the live stream for the
thank
first
you for
time.
having me. This was
I'll have to
awesome.
have you on again.
It's an honor to be here on a garage sale.
And yeah, thanks to everybody that shopped during the garage sale, because your support allows us to keep doing cool stuff like this. So we really appreciate it. So yeah, thanks everybody. Have a good weekend. Bye. Okay, we're done.